All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're here live tonight here, and folks, it's going to be big here tonight because it's the GeForce Racing League Epsilon Wraps Triple Crown Challenge. This is the main event tonight for the street stocks. We've had all week of qualifiers, last chance qualifiers. These guys here for all the marbles tonight, and it's been a good one. Doug, Heat Race 1 is up here. Oh, excuse me,
Feature? Yeah,
I'm so used to saying,
right?
I apologize. I'm so used to saying Heat Race 1, but there is no Heat Race. This is the feature here, folks. Is up. Tell us a little bit who we got starting, what we got for our sponsor.
Of course, we had two big qualifying nights, a last chance qualifying last night to round out the field. Steven Spees and Chase S. will be in row number 1. Kyle Parker, Trent Frustration in row number 2. Wayne Miller, John Hine, they will be in row number 3. Stephen Shaw, GJ Boy Dell in row 4. Nicholas Vickery, Lane Snook in row 5. Stephen Goldner, Michael Redding will be in row 6. Mike Schultz, Aiden Young in row 7. Josh Gerlach, Corey Smith in row 8. Andrew Smith and Preston Kramer, they will be in row number 9. Kyle Mooney, Stephen Gregory in row number 10. Trent Brenneman, who was one of the guys who worked his way in last night, along with Chris Sebeski in row number 11. Jack Clevenger, Daniel Vaught in row number 12. And there's a couple of add-ons here as Todd Shaw, Matthew Croak will be in row 13. Troy P. Stewart rounds out the field. Top 10 were the ones that qualified. Let's see, that was on which night was that? That was on the first night on Tuesday. Then they qualified again on Thursday. And like we said, we rounded out the field last night. This is the Epsilon Sprint Wraps 25 lap Street Stock Championship.
It is the championship of tonight all week long. We have, got us down to 20. Well, I'm only showing 23 cars, but it should be 27 on the track right now. 27 machines. Actually, doesn't show them all at one time there, but got us down to that many cars out of all this, but one driver can only take it home here tonight. Remember, it has been a good one. Check out GForceRL.com, folks. It'll give you all the information about what we've been doing all week long. I'm going to go ahead and apologize tonight if I sound like I'm stuffed up for high heavens. For some reason, my nose kicking in, so go ahead and apologize that if I sound a little different, but otherwise, we got some awesome racing underway all week. It has been crazy. Pace Truck is in. Street stocks here tonight. Epsilon Sprint Wraps Triple Crown underway here at Knoxville.
Green flag is out. Remember, we're doing this all to help out young Lennox Mobley through the Steve King Foundation. First of 25 laps, and again, it was quite an ordeal just to get into this race here tonight, so we're expecting nothing but some very good competition as Steven Spees is showing everybody the fast way around right now.
Absolutely is. Right there, he is digging in the dirt up front. He's on that bottom side curve a little bit behind him. There's still 2x2 all the way back. It's single file up front, though. You got Kyle Parker, Wayne Miller, Trent V right there along with them. Boy, it is a cluster back there in the back mid-pack, though, there, Doug.
Watching third place right now, the 677 of Wayne Miller is down on the inside, actually racing right behind them for position number 4. We were wondering what this track was going to do, and here's the shot that I love as we look back just a little bit outside of the top 10 and ride with young Lane Snook, and there's trouble right in front of him.
Oh, and just right there, he turned into over him. Him and Mike Schultz got together. We were riding along with Lane Snook. When that happened, yellow flag flying comes out because it looks like it caught Trent B there and Corey Smith along with it. But we were riding with Elaine Snook, so we got a good front row seat of that one there. And it looks like him and just Mike Schultz just slid up into each other, got into it. First caution of the night here at Knoxville. I tell you what there, Doug, running the caution here at this event. I was talking to Roger there just a little bit, and it is amazing. Go to GForceRL.com, folks, and if you don't do anything but go and read up on the story of what we're doing here, the Lennox Mobley and all, and what happened, etc., etc. There is a donation link there. You're not obligated to do any of that. If you do, we definitely appreciate it. But if you do, appreciate it. But the biggest thing is at least go and read up on the story, what happened and what we're doing here, and for the calls and what's happened. But with that said, I'm going to get my point here, sometimes I won't, but with that said, the goal tonight has been well made and almost doubled. Roger said we're close to almost 2K which is double
That's
what
nice.
they really wanted out there.
Fantastic.
With all the great sponsors here, Epsilon Sprint Ramps, just to name one. There's many other ones that have come on board.
Including a lot of the drivers,
all the
teams,
drivers,
yeah.
the teams, and obviously, I told Roger out there, and he came up to me and talked. He said, "Man, I appreciate what y'all done," and I told him, and I know you did there, Doug, that said, "Look, it's for a good cause in Lennox. I don't mind." Giving these broadcasts out, and we wanted to give back here to OSR Network to them and give back to them just like the drivers have out here. So to meet the goal, it has been awesome. Doug, it's been a wonderful event so far. We're capping it off here tonight with the championships as we get set to go back green. Steven Spies, I want to still say Spies out there.
I know, so do I.
But green flag flies, and right now he looks like the 007 spy, man, because he's got it under control out front.
And right back down to the bottom. And again, just to finish off a little bit of Joe's thought, I'm proud to be associated with this. Great job, everybody, top to bottom. Battle for second is on right now as, again, Spies is back out in front. Kyle Parker is the black and silver car down on the inside trying to make the move for second. I think he might have just got it, Joe.
Yes, it is. And you got Wayne Miller back there. They're 3 wide, beating and banging on each other. But you said the second place there, Kyle Parker. Good shot coming in from the wall there. They're still 2 by 2.
Woo.
It is hard trucking here, and yellow flags out. It's a big one in the back here. Lane Snook's involved. Let's go back on the AJ Custom Creations replay. Man, you can see him back there. It looks like with Stephen Shaw Jr. and company back there, TJ Boydell and all. Got several cars involved in this one. Aiden Young, Trent, Corey Smith, Daniel Vaught, all involved, looks like in the back. But let's see what happened. Lane got up on the curb, got into the side of the 30 there. And they're still 3 wide. I'm not sure who that was. Got tagged him in the back, and the next thing you know, it's just a parking lot. There's nowhere to go.
I think that was Michael Redding who might have been involved in that. Hard to tell.
Wow.
2 cars getting together twice, and there's our caution. 2 so far here tonight.
And it can happen. It really, here it's just not. It's not a thing to go, bad drivers or anything like that. It's just basically there's so many cars in these. When we talk about street stocks and on a track like this, the street stocks are way different than any of the other cars. What you're going to see later on here in the night with the pro late models, in the 360 wing sprints, it is so different to see. So going to be interesting. Going to be gonna be a wild night. I'm kind of excited, pumped up. Really don't know what else to say about what we've
pumped
done
up
this
and
week.
Stuffed up. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean it really is a. It has been just a great week of racing with this Triple Crown Challenge here for the Epsilon Sprint Wraps. A charity event. I mean, I don't really know what else to say other than the action speaks for itself on the track.
So the drivers lining back up side by side once again. And we saw this a lot this week, Joe. Somebody gets up on that curbing on the inside, then they come back down. The car tends to push up the racetrack. That's how the initial contact happened there. So this is not an easy track. And boy, if you fall behind early, it's tough to make up ground. Speaking of that, Steven Spies, another great restart as he is out in front pulling away as that battle for second. They've changed positions this time as Parker's on the high side. Now Hess on the bottom going for second.
Riding along here with Stephen Shaw Jr. He's down on the inside. He's taking that inside curb a little bit. You can see it. The difference between these car street stocks and what we'll see later is they hug the bottom, maybe to the middle more so than the other ones. Pro late models usually get in that middle lane. They kind of get up top somewhat. But then you got the 360s, which are usually pretty much up top most of the time. Look at this, 2 wide behind them back there with Trent V. They're 3 wide. But up front's all Steven. He says, I'm long gone here. He's loving what he's seeing in his rearview mirror.
Yeah, all he's trying to do right now is just hit his marks. That's all he's worried about. And the other thing you could see from that in-car camera, Joe, is what you were talking about with these being street stocks versus the suspension crazy late models and, of course, the Sprints. Those cars are relatively flat going through the corner, so it's right foot that gets you through the corner. You cannot match it all the way around. You got to keep the thing as straight as possible, almost driving a go-kart, as now that car we were riding with, Stephen Shaw, is looking for position number 4 on the inside.
Yeah, top 3 is already got strung out in a single file. A single file line right there. You got Wayne Miller and Nicholas Vickery. Caution out. Did not show me who that
number
was.
3.
It was a number 3?
Couldn't have been. No, it was a third caution. I meant not the number 3. But yeah, I didn't see anything in the top 15 or so that I saw.
Probably one of those. And usually what happens there, folks, when that happens, what it is a car will spin around real quick and he will get going straight so quick that it doesn't register on my end over here that he went off track or anything like that. So not sure on what that happens, but like you said, under caution there for the 3rd time tonight. And again, these guys here, they're putting it all on the line. They're trying to do everything they possibly can to win, so they're going for it.
And again, thanks to all the teams, Kreitz Coast to Coast Racing, Gambler Motorsports, Spartan Racing Team, Peerless Racing, and of course the folks at Velocity Race Design. They sponsored the B-Mains all week long. Of course, we already talked about A&J Custom Creations. They're doing the replays. Weatherby Photography is sponsoring the Victory Lanes, and of course Epsilon Sprint Wraps doing all the features. They were the big premier sponsor this week, and all these drivers, they paid extra money to do it. So thank you. And to all of you who donated at home as you're watching, thank you to you as well.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you what right there, what's up, LW? How you doing out there? We're live here tonight on GForceTV on YouTube, what's our network on Facebook. Appreciate everybody out there. Hit those likes and shares out there. We get this thing out to the folks, and it's been a good cause all week long. Last week we had the qualifiers. Last night had the last chance qualifiers. Tonight, feature time. All 3 series will be in just a feature. So in between the races, don't go anywhere because, hey, we got the Pit Stop Podcast guys, Roger Craig, Preston Cranmer coming up. They're going to give us the ins and outs of what's going on, what's maybe coming up, talk a little bit about sponsors and so while we switch over to their next servers and so forth and get the races set up for you. You don't want to miss all that talking in action. But again, go to GForceRL.com. Check out the, obviously all the info about what this charity event was like, what was put on. Read up about the Lennox Mobley, Steve King Foundation, which is bringing this thing on, and all the great sponsors involved, some of the teams. And don't forget, we still got great action here at the G-Force Racing League all week. Green flag out, Steven Spies right there. I said it again, Speeds, my bad. Chase S out front, 3 wide for about 3rd place.
And of course, Preston Cranmer is actually out there racing right now. One of the guys who is one of the co-hosts. He's in 14th. Roger didn't make it, but he's out there too. So these guys are in the trenches just like you. They know what's going on. So make sure to stick around for that. We're watching. 2nd is a good battle there. Also a good battle out there for 4th is one guy got trapped on the outside there. I think it was Kyle Parker. He lost a bunch of spots.
Wayne Miller there, that 677 machine, got up on the burn there a little bit on the inside. He's got John Hine, the boat machine behind him, trying to trail up on him. Nicholas Vickery's right there. You got a who's who of names, though, trying to run down Steven out front, and he is loving everything he can see clear. This is what we saw throughout the whole entire week here, Doug. Very hard to pass here. Once you get marred in traffic, these cars are so even. Just to give you an idea of time-wise around the track, I mean, I know people can see it, but all the way from first all the way back for the whole 25-car field, everyone's in 24-second range. What that tells you, and what I always talk about with that tells you nobody's going to come blazing through the field and just pick off a lot of spots unless there's a huge wreck or something or somebody makes a mistake, because you're not even a half a second, if that, between the whole field. That's just how close and much competition's out here.
And 1st, 2nd, and 3rd are running 1st, 2nd, and 3rd right now. Stephen Shaw's comes 7th to 4th. Nicholas Vickery 9th to 5th. Big movers Stephen Gregory 20th to 11th. And I don't know about you, but I'm a little surprised about that, Joe, because this does not look like an easy pass to make moves on, or an easy track to make moves on right now.
It is not. You can just see everybody stuck 3 wide back there with Mike Schultz and company, watching old GJ Boydell, Mike Schultz, Preston Cranmer. I mean, that's a who's who a name. But again, you can look, they're running 24/7, 3 23s. The leader's running 24:15. I mean, Doug, that's how close this field is. And so that tells you that nobody's just coming through this whole field. Very hard to pass. I said it before, track position is king here and qualifying, and I think it's proven right now. As you can see, I mean, there's action all over the track, though.
Yeah, there is. What you guys were watching there was 7th, 8th, and 9th as they're racing pretty hard right back there in that group. Good race for 3rd right now as Parker and Shaw are racing right there, and that's what you're seeing on your screen right now. Shaw is down in the bottom of the red car. Parker's on the outside in the black car, and you can see right behind them Wayne Miller and Nicholas Vickery. Oh, he needs to pull a tear off, doesn't he?
Yeah, there he goes. As soon as you said it, he did it. I was fixing to say yellow flags out. Caution. Not sure. I think that's Corey Smith is around. And that's who it is. Let's go back on the A&J Custom Creations replay here and just check and see. Corey Smith's back there in the back. Unfortunately, he's right there down below. He's at, actually, excuse me, he's one up high there. Yeah, 505 machine. If him and maybe the other car got a little contact down. Oh, looks like maybe he was a, well, no, the 23 there. Oh, yep.
Yeah, Snook and,
wrong place, wrong
together.
time. Yep, wrong place, wrong time. Just nowhere to go. Usually in this, I mean, these are short tracks. And normally in dirt racing, unless it's yourself that calls the caution, 9 times out of 10, maybe 7 times out of 10, we'll go that route. It's usually nowhere to go. You know, you're going to get caught up in it if you're right there around it, because unlike when we talk about asphalt races and we talk about tracks that are self-cleaning and non-cleaning, dirt tracks, they're not either. You pretty much are going to stay. There's no banking. There's nothing like that. So when you spin out, wherever the car goes, it kind of goes.
Lane Snook also involved in that one. He's having a tough night here tonight. He's been involved in 3 of the cautions that we've had. But the big question here is, does anybody have anything for Steven Spies? I mean, he's been restarting very, very well. He's been getting great jumps off every restart. But Chase Hess on the outside of him, we'll see if he can do something here. But these restarts, this has been where he's been able to pull out to at least 2-3 car lengths by the time they get to turn 2. And you know that, Joey, once you can get to that point, it's sure a heck of a lot easier to run laps, not having to worry about somebody all over you.
And the biggest, now they're going single file.
Yeah, single file it looks like. Yep, okay.
Well, they were double file there for a minute. Yeah. And see, that really benefits the leader out here. And I know Chase S would love to say, man, can we at least go, you know, I know why they're not doing the double file, you know, maybe calm down a little bit on the race in the back, but you can just see right there, Steven's able to just control the field, go when he wants. He's got such a big lead out there, and nothing that Chase can do. Now he's got Kyle Parker right behind.
And you can see what they're all trying to do. They're all trying to get their left side tires down into that darker clay, that little moister clay that's still there on the inside. You can see he had his left side tires right down in it, and it looks like everybody who's running the bottom is making up ground. As you see that wide shot right there, everybody on the top seems to be falling back.
Yeah, it is. Right there, you got John Hine hanging on the 6, Nicholas Vickery up there on the top side. Michael Reddy's trying to dig what he can get here, and that 301 machine. They're 3 wide back there along with them. Everybody, beating him, banging a little bit off there. Looks like Nicholas Vickery had to hang on to that machine.
Wow, how did that not end up in a wreck, right?
Wow, you're right. I mean, it was an outstanding save from him there, but it is a caution. Jack Clevenger looks like he's involved. Kyle Mooney, you see him bouncing off the wall back there.
Back there, yep.
Go back on our A&J Custom Creations replay here. Let's ride with Kyle Mooney. See maybe what he saw and see if he actually just wrong place, wrong time, because I know Jack Clevenger was involved in it. Jack might have been right there in front of him.
Yeah, see Todd Shaw on the bottom there. That's the 82.
Oh, Jack just slid up the track.
Oh, look at that.
Got around. We're going slow-mo here in minutes. I like the action. Look at that. Boom, to 78.
From behind, too.
Oh, slams him in the wall. You see that thing take flight. Wow.
Wow, that's a hard hit for Clevenger.
So it's so dramatic when you see it in slow-mo, you know.
Putting him in the 33s in there, and who was that snuck by on the outside there? Was that Troy? I don't know who that was. Somebody did a nice job sneaking around that there at the back.
It's so dramatic when you watch it in slow-mo a lot of times. It looks neat. I know people like it, you know, the cinematic style shots and whatnot, but I tell you, it's a good one. Yeah. Gotta give it to the fans
and
out
racing
there.
don't go together much, but good job there. So
I'll tell you what. Hope y'all appreciate it out there. Let me know how it looks and sounds for you and all, folks. It's been a good one so far. They're going to go to single file again. It looks like for the moment, it's all been Steven Spies out front, and nobody's definitely spying on him. He's just got a clear racetrack in front of him. Chase Hess, though, trying to do what he can to chase him down, but it's just not working. And again, we've seen this all week long with the street stocks, that is. Once you get out front and position, it's just hard to get around the guy.
And remember the other thing too, with the way the format went for this event, the top 10 here are the first 10 cars that qualified on that first night against the biggest fields that we had. So it would kind of make sense that they would be the drivers who have a little bit better handle on this place. So we're talking about Spies, Hess, Parker, Shaw, Miller, Vickery, Hine, Redding, Verstappen, and Stephen Goldner. They were all started in the top 10, and you know what? Actually, I missed a couple there. Actually, G.J. Boydell was in there, but as you look at the top 10, all but 2 of them started inside the top 10. So that tells you how good they are.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You got
I almost got that out right.
Hey, no problem right there. We got a stacked field though here tonight with these drivers. As you see right there, Steven Spies gets another jump out front. Chase Hess is along with him with Kyle Parker and company. Got 3 or 4 drivers here, and you see them already. Now about 3rd or 4th on back is when they start getting side by side, but the top 3 or 4 guys, they're all single file.
And I thought for a second there that Hess might have gotten a little bit better restart as he looked a little closer there in turn 2 than he had been in a while. But Spies got such a good run out of turn 2, he was able to erase anything that Hess might have gained right there. We see the race for 4th now heating up again as Parker is on the outside, but down in the bottom, Stephen Shaw Jr., who started right behind him, is trying to get around him for position number 3 as we look a little further back, and the yellow flag is out.
Lane Snook might be involved in that one. Let's go back here and see.
Oh, yeah, tough night.
Yeah, he's not had the night he's wanted so far. Back here on Lane and see here on the A&J Custom Creations play. And we're riding along here with Lane. And he's up there on the cushion. Yeah.
Where he not normally is. So
no, he usually likes that low line. Not sure who the 82 is right there off the top of my. Oh, that's Todd Shaw.
Yep, Todd Shaw.
Oh, Shaw got a little bit tight up the track, nowhere to go, and then from there.
Oh, he almost had it.
Ouch.
Oh.
Ow.
If this was an actual street stock, he would be very sore tomorrow. I have a feeling after that one. Right? And I wait for them to get to that point where they're going to have these units that are going to be so accurate that if you get in a crash, you're going to feel it the next day. I'm waiting for that. We'll have to see. We don't want anybody to get hurt, obviously, but boy, that would take it to the next level, wouldn't it?
Calm some drivers down. That would definitely calm some drivers down.
Yeah, you get into thinking, gosh, it goes upside down when you go upside down.
Oh yeah, you would probably see a lot of calm down drivers.
Yes, you would. Don't think that nobody's working on that, because I guarantee you somebody somewhere is going, yeah, that's exactly what we need. Let's put them in 5-point harnesses. Let's let them tumble if they tumble. So, but Steven Spies, no tumbling for him. As again, top 3 are exactly the same as they were when we took the green flag initially, showing how much getting in on that first night. I think if we end up doing something like this again, Joey, I think we learned that, boy, getting in that first night is maybe everything.
And it's basically the qualifying order, like what you just said, and we've talked about it all week long with the street stocks here. Not so much with the pro lates and the 360s, because we've seen guys come through the field with those, but that's a different breed of machine on this track. But with this one right here, with it being such a heavy car, pretty much it's a full stock car, and the way that these things get around the track, they're not as limber and as mobile as the other ones. Don't have as much power. You can see Kyle Parker, though, tried to get up underneath Chase Hess on that restart. Wasn't able to do it, but, man, I tell you, look at the drive off that Steven gets off the turn there and just pulls away from Chase.
We've seen this before. This is, if he does hold on and win this race, I guarantee you those restarts are going to be one of the first things. As we got somebody up there on the wall. I think it was Wayne Miller.
Wow, I was riding with him right there, and he just got that slide job a little bit too hard there, and now he's got Nicholas Victory on his inside. You see in front of him there, Steve Shaw Jr., which got a good picture of what you're seeing up there in that leader. As yellow flag's out, not sure, I don't know, is it Daniel Vaught? Check on the
You can also
replay.
see from that shot, it looks like there's almost a little bit of a cushion up there.
Yeah.
As you can see when the right rear tires hit there. Let's see, some slide jobs going on there.
Yeah. Watching this replay here, NJ Custom Creations is back here with Daniel Vaught and company. And you see
Andrew Smith
Daniel.
and Trent Brenneman.
Oh,
I
just
have a
got
feeling there it is
together and
right
they
there.
hooked each other and bam, right in the wall. Over with.
And they were racing, I think, for 17th place, 17th, 18th, I think, was about when that happened. So, and like we say, you know, we're watching leaders, but it doesn't mean there isn't intense racing going on for 15th, for 21st, for 11th. I mean, it's everywhere, you know. I'm not going to let you buy, Joe, and you're not going to let me buy. That's it.
I'm going to tell you, and it's so, well, and it's not really, you know, you're talking about, normally that's how it would be in the racing, but here on this track and with these cars, it's pretty much just how it has to be. You know, unless you're out front, it's pretty much a, I want to get by, but I can't type of thing. So, hey, yeah. And you're right out there, Channel. It's fast and furious on the track here tonight. Stephen Spies out front. Chase Hess right there trying to do what he can. Kyle Parker, Stephen Shaw Jr., Nicholas Victor rounds the top 5. Single file going back green here at Knoxville.
I think they're going to go around one more time. I still see the lights on on the pace car. Right now, Wayne Miller's gone 5th to 6th. John Hines falling back a spot 6th to 7th. Michael Redding, we just saw his graphic show up there just a moment ago. He's been one of the guys who's actually moved up 12th to 8th. Been a tough race for Trent Verstration, 4th from 9th, and Stephen Goldner, who we've seen come from the back many times, but I think with this competition level in this particular race, 11th to 10th. And we told you about Stephen Gregory earlier, 20th to 11th, and that is pretty much where he stays. As we've seen this in every form of racing, right, Joe? The further up you get, the harder the cars are to pass. It's just reality.
It is, and just so much, and even with this place, I mean, we've just seen lap times can tell the story a lot here on the track, and right now with it just being everybody in the 24 time frame, like I said, you're not going to see anybody come from 10th place all the way straight to the front. Just not going to happen as much as they wanted to. Unless they're just a big wreck up front and the guys just make a huge mistake on the track, would be the only way they're going to be able to get it done. But just to do it on speed, just to do it on speed, not going to happen. But you do see Shaw right there. Those guys have been battling pretty much this whole entire time.
And I wonder if Shaw might have set up Parker a little bit there, because he went on the outside right off the bat. Kyle Parker saw him up there, moved up, and now Shaw has the line on the bottom. So if he can keep that, he might be able to get him, as this is the last lap.
Out of turn 3 and 4, final time. Stephen Spies got it. Shaw Jr. is going to try for it, 3rd place. Kyle Parker right there. That's the race off of 4. Parker's going to hang on to 3rd, but Stephen Spies is going to go flag to flag and win this thing here tonight for the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Triple Crown Challenge Street Stock event. What a finish to this one here. Wow, and congratulations to that man right there, Stephen Spies.
Good run for him. Hess did a nice job holding on in a second. And the guy I think who really had his hands full there at the end was Kyle Parker, because I still say Stephen Shaw was trying to snooker him a little bit there and move him up the racetrack to open up the inside groove. So that's the first thing I can't wait to see, if Kyle agrees with me on that. But he really had his hands full. And if you're Stephen Shaw, you're back there, you're running in their tire tracks in the same line, and you've been there for a lot of laps. What else are you going to do, right, Joe? You got to try something. You got to try to fake them out, maybe. So
you got to do everything that you possibly can here. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to get some of these guys up here and get a word with them. We got Kyle Parker in 3rd there, Chase Hess sitting in the 2nd place, and then Steven Spies right there, our winner here tonight for the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Triple Crown Challenge Street Stock Series, as we're going to right now and bring up our 3rd place. Oh, first off, Preston, who is the Epsilon Sprint Wraps top driver tonight?
Well, I'm going to let you wait and interview him again. We're lucky enough to have the feature winner, so you'll be talking to Steve here in a minute. And I just want to remind everybody that we're running a special promotion along with Phantom Motorsports, which is a newly formed team. And if an Epsilon Sprint Wraps driver wins the overall championship, we'll be making an extra donation to the GoFundMe of $100. And those guys, if we can win one in the 360 feature here in a little while, they're going to make the same thing. So go check that out. We've got a little wager going on our Facebook page.
Nice.
So there's to be spread around to the GoFundMe here.
Right,
so I'll bring your third place guy up.
Yeah, bring third place guy Kyle Parker up here, and let's get a word with him there, Doug.
Hey, Kyle, it's Doug Elkins. How we doing? How was the race? Started third, finished third, but boy, there was a lot more to it than that.
Oh yeah, it was wild. It was racy though in the beginning, and then the high side kind of working for about, I'd say about 5 or 10 laps, and then it was just kind of like a bottom feeder. But some people could make that high side work. I just couldn't figure it out, so I just stuck to the bottom. Other than that, I guess when I was in third, man, it's hard to pass once you make it a 1-lane track. So I was just pretty content with bringing home a podium for Spartan, and then with the charity event and everything. So.
Okay. I was kind of curious. I saw Steven Shaw go up, make himself kind of visible on the outside after that restart. Then you went up there and he dove immediately back to the bottom. Is it possible that maybe he was trying to get you to go up there, fake you out a little bit, and sneak by the inside?
Yeah, no, it could have been, but I did see that he was getting a crazy run when he kind of like was coming low off the turn 1 or turn 4. And he was just getting a crazy run, so I'm like, oh, maybe there's something up there. So I wanted to try it, just because I was actually, gonna give the second or first place guy a shot,
Yeah.
And it wasn't just for me. I couldn't figure it out.
Why do you think Steven was so much better than everybody else on the restarts?
I think it's the leaders kind of got a little, I wouldn't say an unfair advantage, but a little bit of an advantage because he can. He can go as soon as the 4 tires are off, or he can wait. It's always a guessing game from first place back. So it's always him, and it's like you're trying to time it, and then sometimes the second place guy will try to time it early, and then he doesn't go, so he checks up, and then Steven goes. You know what I mean? It's a guessing game. It's like a cat and mouse game, but
yeah. And if you're following him as soon as you check up, that's it. You're looking at 2-3 car lengths just on that move alone, right?
Exactly.
Anybody who'd like to say thanks to? Because again, with all these cars and everything, you made it in on the first night. You still got a podium finish. It's still an awesome night, right, Kyle?
Absolutely, man. I was racing with Steven Chase the first qualifier when I ended up winning it, and I think Steven finished second, and Chase finished third. So I think we kind of like flip-flopped a little bit. But those guys are good. They're good drivers, man. So it's always good to run with those guys up there. But I just gotta thank Spartan Racing. Those guys are awesome, man. We actually had every single one of our members in here besides maybe one other guy, but he didn't even participate in the charity event. But I think we got 2 or 3 top 5s out of it so far tonight, so that's always good. And then, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was waiting. I thought you were done. Go ahead.
Well, then I just got to thank my fiance and
nice.
Give her my condolences because she just lost her cousin today to cancer.
I'm so sorry.
So I guess this third place is for her. I can't really do much else because she's not home right now, but hopefully everything is going well with her family.
We'll give her a hug from all of us, okay? And tell her we're sorry, okay?
We're all family here, right?
Yes, we are. No doubt about it. Good job, Kyle. It was fun watching you this week.
Thank you, guys.
That's terrible.
I hate to hear that, man. There, third place guy, Kyle Parker there, and definitely, going to put that one out there to his, wife and the family members there. So,
yeah.
Well, second place man, Chase Hess here. He did everything he could all night long. Let's get a word with him here, Doug.
Chase Hess, fine, second place, ran alone most of the night. Did you think at any points it looked like that one restart there, you gained on Steven just a little bit?
Yeah, I think as the track got slicker, I was a little bit faster on the bottom. He was kind of entering too high and a little sideways. It's hard to get anything going when you have 5 green flag laps, caution. I'm the type of driver that needs to develop a rhythm, and every time you get a caution, that kind of breaks it, and you got to kind of reset.
Yeah, I could see how that could be an issue. So, what could you have done differently? What were you trying to do with your line to run down Steven Spies tonight?
Trying to keep the left rears in the brown on the bottom. Mm-hmm. There's like a lane that's probably about the width of a tire. If you can keep it down there, you can make up some good ground.
Mm-hmm. We saw some drivers kind of get a little too far down to the inside, get up on that ledge. How tough is it once you're on that ledge to get down and not push up into somebody else?
Oh, it depends on how far up you get, I guess. If you just hook it with your left front, it's not too bad. You can just kind of carry it out. But I don't know. I guess if you panic and try to get off it, then yeah, you will shoot up the track.
Yeah, because I saw some guys who actually got 2 tires up, then they'd come down, and the way the street stocks are, it's just going to go the way the momentum takes it. That's pretty much how it works,
sure.
right? Okay. Good run though, right? I mean, you qualified the first night, got a top 2 finish, had a shot at a win. I can't think it could have been. Well, obviously, it could have been a little better, but could have been much better.
Yeah,
right?
the street stocks. Knoxville's always pretty much one lane and enough. Fix it up. So I was lucky enough to actually get second, having to start on the outside a few times.
Anybody you'd like to say thanks to, Chase?
Just the SGR guys. That's about it tonight.
Okay. And I did catch the Canadian accent there, so good job, man. You're representing home. Good job tonight. Seriously, Chase. And we have a lot of Canadian friends, so we always tease each other about the words we say differently. So
that's probably the Oswego accent you hear there, Doug.
Yeah. He was out, a little bit of that stuff.
Yeah.
Now, do you drive to work on asphalt or asphalt?
Asphalt.
There you go. See, that would have given away right there. Good talking to you, Chase.
Thank you. Yeah.
There you go. I tell you what, it's always a good one. Hey, no doubt about it. Second place man, Chase S. right there. That's always a good one to hear. But this guy here in the Weatherby winner's circle here tonight, Stephen Spees. Stephen, man, you had it locked down here. How's it feel to put it in victory lane here for this Epsilon Sprint Wraps Triple Crown Challenge in the Street Stock Division?
It always feels good to win a race, right? So, this isn't about winning and losing tonight. Obviously, it's about raising money and putting some funds together to help somebody that's having a tough time. So,
nice.
That's the best thing about it. I always love racing, pretend for just for fun, but whenever it means something, that's even better. But I'm happy to represent Epsilon and Preston here with the nice wrap that he did for this race and put it in victory lane, though.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. And I tell you what, and you did. Now, we've talked all week about the street stocks, and to me, it was a back and forth thing. I've seen it a lot of time on the oval side, and certain tracks are this way. But it seems like with these street stocks here tonight, being out front was the place to be, that it was very hard to pass behind, anyone on the track and to come through the field. So was it better to be where you were, or do you think you could have pulled this thing off being back in 5th or 10th place?
No, it was luck of the draw. Starting pole and getting out there was huge, especially on the restarts. Whenever the leader gets to control it, that gives you just enough of a buffer, especially in these fixed setups, where if you hit your line and don't make mistakes, guys got to find something faster than what you found, and it's really hard to do, and especially in these low-powered street stocks. So being up front was it. I think if we'd have gotten a lot of green flag laps, I think Chase may have been a little bit faster than me as the track was getting slicker. So if it would have been green for a longer time, we probably would have had a heck of a race to show you. But I'm glad it went the way it did.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, you put it in victory lane here tonight. Awesome run for you. Been an outstanding week here for the charity racing, and it come all to a close tonight here for the Street Stock Series. You're the man to put it in victory lane here, Steven. You got anybody you want to thank for the win?
Again, thanks to Epsilon Sprint Wraps and Preston for the wrap. He's put a lot to be the title sponsor on this event. So everybody, if you race in the leagues or any league that's free, or if you're just watching tonight and you enjoy it, go kick some money in on the GoFundMe there and help out the cause for everyone. Also, thanks to my team, Gambler Motorsports. And then, anybody that takes time out of their day to watch us and hopefully kind of follow along during our normal racing, thanks to you guys for doing that.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, again, congratulations there, Stephen, for putting it in victory lane here tonight for the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Triple Crown Challenge Street Stock Division. It was an awesome one here. Well, folks, I tell you, that is the first one of the night. We have got pro late models coming up here. Don't go anywhere. We're going to switch some servers, but we're also going to switch it over here. I'm going to hand it off here to the two gentlemen. They do the Pit Stop podcast, and it's Roger Craig, Preston Kramer, the VP and the Vice President of the GForce Racing League. Gentlemen, awesome start to an awesome week here to cap it off with the street stocks. It was great to see.
That was a great race, and I was spotting for Preston. He ran a good, clean race, and it was an exciting race all the way around. I know the front did move around a lot, but it was well contested and really, really cleanly run.
Yeah, it was really a lot. I'd much rather finish higher than when I did, but I was watching guys go 4 wide, and for the most part, everybody kept it pretty clean. There's a little bumping here and there, but that's to be expected in a street stock race. So, hats off to everybody that that ran pretty well there. It was as far as street stock racing goes, and ask for much more.
I think Preston, it's almost time for you to reboot that rotor because you've dropped out a few times. And
all right, well, I'll be back then.
Okay, so I'll just continue on. First thing I want to do is give a huge shout out. We've got a super fan, Jimmy Thompson. Jimmy's always talking to me about the races. He was a big he's a big Ush Weekend and Rivals Racing fan when they were running the Elite Series last year, and we've taken that over, and he followed over, and now he's picking up on a lot of our other races. So just want to give a big shout out to Jimmy, and thanks for watching and following, Jim. And want to talk about a few of the other guys too. That this has been a great week in so many ways, but the way people have well, donated for sure, but just the camaraderie, the community spirit. Dan Blau contacted me earlier today and said so he was trying to get into the overall championship. He had to make it to the finals in all three, and he didn't make it in the 360s. Said, you know what, I don't run street stocks that often. There's other guys that are more keen. So why don't you, give up my spot for that? So that was a huge, generous offer. And we've had stuff like that. I got contacted by Cam Thompson, who also same thing. I can't make it, and give my spot up. So rather than letting it go or whatever, they're very proactive, and that's very much appreciated. But there's I'm going to let Preston, when he gets back, talk about something that Matt Croakey has done, and let him go on about that. But we were talking about a few other things. There was on our Pitside podcast, Preston had talked about having a tough luck award. At first, I thought he was just talking about like just a award or trophy, but he was actually talking about a position in the race. And it came down to they had to file what their issues were, and Andy Patton and Greg Boydell had filed what their heartbreak parts were, and there was some voting going on. There was to see who would get it, and then Andy contacted me to say like his PC still wasn't working, and so just give the spot to Greg, and if I get connected, then I'll help admin or whatever. So that was another generous offer. And of course, Andy does. He admins, and then he's also the man behind A&J Custom Creations. They're supplying all the trophies and plaques for this series and for all our league championships as well. So if you haven't seen their work, you got to check it out. Christmas is coming. I just received a couple, I guess last week, a real cool bottle opener that he made. It was custom made for our team, so he can custom make just about anything you want. So check him out, because Andy is just a great guy. Again, want to thank all the people that helped us happen. Epsilon Sprint Wraps. I can say that while Preston's not here. Huge, and there's more announcements coming, I think, between him and Matt Croakey in a minute. Spartan Racing. All these teams donated like over $100 towards the event, as well as making their own donations to race. Gambler Motorsports, Kreitz C2C, and Velocity Race Design. And it can't go without being said. Big shout out to the guys in the broadcast room here. Doug's done all 12 races, donating everything to this, and Joe has done very similar. So it's made a huge portion of his what would have been an income and turning it over to for the betterment of Lennox. So big shout out to these guys. They've become a big part of the community as well. We really can't say enough about them. Talk about some serious donations too. Like everybody's donation helped. A lot of guys donated more than the $20, but Kevin Fry, who just admin that race, $150. Just so, and then paying for his own entry as well. Don Dory, $100. Tom Morano, $100. Stars on Dirt, we had to find out where it was a league, and we didn't even hadn't heard of the Stars on Dirt, and they donated $50. Like, it was just an awesome outreach from all these different people. So can't say enough about that. And then we've got a draw on the Pitside podcast next Sunday for door prizes, and Ohsweken Speedway has stepped up, and they have donated 2 pit passes for next year's Canadian National Sprint Championship, and that is something to see. It's just a major event, one of the biggest events in North America, and so can't wait for that. And hopefully, all this COVID stuff and the we have a fix for that by then. There'll be 4 $25 iRacing credits, and of course the wraps. When we say wraps, for those that aren't familiar, that's the paint jobs on the cars. And Epsilon Sprint Wraps is donating one. Velocity is, and also B-Fin. So Velocity is Ross Carinta. You'll see him later tonight. And Braden Finsel from B-Fins Designs, and you'll see him tonight. Those guys are starting right near the front in the 360 race. So can't wait for that race, and just appreciate what they are doing. So I need to check and see if this session's coming up, because I need to get in that. I guess it's just coming up about now. And Preston, are you back yet?
Yeah, I'm back. Hopefully my connection's a little bit better.
Yeah, you're sounding good so far. I was running. Hey, could you talk about this? I just touched on it. Then Matt Croakey came up with something, and I think you're kind of involved in that now. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
So Matt Croakey of Phantom Motorsports. Now, I should mention I'm not going to be able to remember all their names. I think it's Chris Sebeski, Ross Carenta, Matt Croakey, and there's a couple other guys have formed up a team. They're also very heavily associated with Velocity race design as well, which I've always been a fan of Ross Carenta's work, and I think he's got a couple other guys that he might work for them, or I don't know, but it's a handful of guys that work over there. But anyway, he messaged me today and said he wanted to make things interesting, I guess, and he said that if a Velocity race design driver wins, that they'll donate $50 extra to the GoFundMe. But if an Epsilon Sprint Wraps driver wins, this is, I should mention, this is for the 360 feature that will be coming up at 9 o'clock, that if an Epsilon Sprint Wraps driver wins, they'll donate 100. Anybody else from the field, they'll do 25. So no matter what, they're going to make an extra donation, which I thought was awesome. I had been planning to do something along the same lines, but when he suggested that, I thought, well, hey, we'll just kind of flip-flop it. And so I'm doing for the overall championship under Epsilon Sprint Wraps. If an ESW driver wins the overall championship, which we're off to a great start after Speeds just won the street stock race there, we'll donate an extra $100. If one of Velocity Race Designs drivers wins the overall championship, we'll donate an extra $50, and anybody else from the field will donate an extra $25. So we're just got kind of a fun wager going. Obviously neither of us are making any money off of it, but the GoFundMe is going to get some extra money, possibly up to $200. So it's pretty exciting.
I'm glad you summed that up at the end, because I was getting a little bit lost there with all the money flying around. But it's nothing but good news, that's for sure, and just so generous of them to do that.
Yeah, it's really exciting. It's something I wanted to do as well. And then you see other guys that just step up, and they're having fun making these donations, right? And I apologize if I'm yelling too, because I'm now practicing. But it really just hammers home the whole community organization, that we've developed, and it kind of swells you up with pride a little bit as I spin out and wreck somebody else.
So Preston is he's one of the contenders for the overall championship. So he's in every race, and so I tried it the other night too. I can whack off walls anyways without having to be trying to talk at the same time. But it's hard to focus on two things like that. But just to mention, so there's a few drivers that they qualified for all 3 races, so they're a contender for the overall championship, and hopefully before the night's over we can figure out who that is. But the drivers that are eligible are Aiden Young, Chase Hess, Chris Sebeski, Jack Clevenger, John Hine, Kyle Moonen, Preston Cranmer, Steven Spies, so him and Chase are off to a big start. Steve Goldner, don't rule him out ever. And Steve Shaw Jr. and Wayne Miller. And I think Wayne Miller is part of that new Phantom team too. So anyways, those are the guys that are running. So keep your eye out for those. Aiden Young, Chase Hess, Chris Sabeski, Jack Clevenger, John Hine, Kyle Moonen, Preston, Steven Spies, Steve Goldner, Steve Shaw, and Wayne Miller. So they're the ones that are going for the overall championship and the big honors.
I think Wayne Miller, and Croaky's going to correct me if I'm wrong here because he already had 2 ones today. I think Wayne Miller is on.
You're right.
Is on
Spartan.
And
yes.
Kenny Miller is on Phantom Motorsports.
You're right. It is Kenny Miller who is driving midget, I think, right now down South Carolina, was it? Middleton?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So we're looking forward now to another great show. I'm going to let you go, Preston, because I know you need to focus here, man. You got to pick up some points because Hess and Spies have got to jump on you. So you finished, I think, where'd you finish? 13th, 14th or something?
14th, yeah. Greg Boydell and Chris Sabeski and I had a battle the entire race long. It was awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna let you go because you need to pick up some points, man. You gotta get that button gear. So good luck. And I don't know if the other guys are ready to come back or not. Okay. Well, if you guys are ready, we'll pass it back on to you. And I just got to make sure all the right guys are in this room. And we have 3 or 4 alternates in case somebody doesn't make it. And I got to make sure that if they're going to get in or not. So I'll pass it over to you guys. Thanks a lot.
Well, I tell you what, guys, that was awesome. Always a pleasure to watch the Pit Stop podcast. And, folks, you can check that out, too, over on GForceRL.com. Check those guys out there, Roger Craig and Preston Cranmer. Every week they go over what's going on in the GeForce Racing League, all the happenings and everything else like that. So, loading up the server here. We got pro late models here, Doug, coming up. We had street stocks there earlier and capped it off. Steven Spies there, putting it in victory lane for that one. But these late models, they're a different animal here.
They are. Just, I went and did a little bit of work on the computer while I was listening to the guys on my other computer. And I come back and I watch these things going around a racetrack. And, boy, they're so much faster. The way they pitch sideways through the corners. Late models are a favorite of many, many dirt racing fans all across this great country of ours. And it's so fun to watch these guys out there. This is going to be another a 30-lap feature for the late models tonight. So it is going to be a lot of fun. The competition with these has been amazing all week long. I'm looking at the lap times. You've got the top 5 all within 1/10 of a second of each other right now. And if you take that out to 2/10, you can go all the way down to about 13th place. So a lot of guys turning similar laps here. Driving ability, starting position, as we see, is going to matter a lot in this late model race tonight, Joe.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And you're right. As, like I say, practice time here, these guys are getting familiar with the track, trying to see what they can do, what they can't do. Now, the biggest difference is when we talked about it in the Street Stock Series, they're coming through the field. You might see some fast guys be able to come through the field on these cars and the 360s as again, whole different animal, whole different beast, so to speak, on the tracks here. But Epsilon Sprint Wraps Triple Crown Challenge here tonight. Been a good one all week long, charity event.
Really has.
And let's see, we've got Matt Croak out there, said also $25 iRacing credit for the hard charger in the 3 race. That's awesome. What's up, Tom Taylor? How you doing? Good to hear from you out there. Good to hear from all the guys out here tonight. Got the 2K Adrian DeGoat. Got a burn for fuel and or Lennox. Oh, he got burned. He got burnt in a pit accident in the trailer.
Yeah, he was in the hauler. Yeah.
Yeah,
one of those static electricity deals.
Just a static electricity. Like I say, go to GForceRL.com. They got a lot of information on it, the whole event. So, and I hope Lennox is able. I hope Lennox is able to get out here and watch the race some this week.
Yeah, and I like I said, I remember a few years ago we had that problem at a race I was at. It was a freak deal, caused a big fire. Nobody got hurt, fortunately, but I guess I had thought that maybe we had solved that problem as a racing community, but clearly not. But I'm sure smarter minds than myself and Joe are working on that right now, and they damn well better be, right, Joe? It wouldn't take much. Well, again, looking at the lap times
Does
here.
alcohol burn like regular fuel?
Alcohol has a higher flash point. Well, let me see, lower, because I know, I remember I've seen it where they've had a fuel cell rupture with alcohol. A lot of times the best thing to do is burn it, and it burns very slowly. Of course, the big thing with alcohol is you can't see the fire. Like sprint cars run on methanol, and you can't see the fire. But late models run on racing gasoline, and this was I believe it was a World of Outlaw or a Lucas Oil late model event. It was one of the two. I wish I knew a little more about it. I don't know which it was, but they run on racing gasoline. So from what I understand, it's not as big of a deal with methanol as it is with racing gasoline. And actually, a lot of times to start alcohol motors, they squirt actual race fuel in there to get it going, squirt it right into the carburetor.
And the reason I asked that is obviously different fuels burn different ways, and you're talking about how the hell they can come across that, because, you know, if you watch like NHRA, obviously they're using nitromethane highlighted, and they're pouring that thing straight into there. A lot of times when the motors are running and so forth, and you really hardly ever hear about them having fires in the pits or anything like that. Now, the reason I asked though is again, this could be a combination of two. Is I've never seen that the nitromethane ignite, but you have seen the motors explode. Now, again, it could just be the combination of the motor exploding and catching the fire along with it, as opposed to the fuel. That's why I was asking you. Alcohol.
No, again, late model teams don't run that. There's some modified teams that run it here in the Northeast. And I know, like for IMCA modified UMPs, some of them are allowed to run alcohol. And what they have to do is, like for IMCA, for example, if they're running alcohol, they have to put a big A on the car near the back of the car to let the fire crews know, because there's different ways to put out fires. Alcohol fires you put out differently than gasoline fires. So they make sure of that. But it's one of those things, you know, they touch it to the funnel, and somehow it's just enough of a charge there. And you know, they warn you about at a gas station, Joe. You've seen how they say not to be on your cell phone. It's static electricity. It's one of those 1 in a billion shots, but unfortunately, one of those 1 in a billion shots ended up changing young Lennox Mobley's life.
And I think here's the thing. I think it's a problem that probably never will, because you just mentioned something right there. It happens in the real world at a gas station. And to this day, it still is one of those things. You don't hear it. Very, very rare, but could happen. Excuse me. And I feel like when you're dealing with just pure gasoline, but when you're dealing with the other fuels, a lot of racers use nitromethane, alcohol, stuff like that. A lot of times those aren't as, I don't want to say they're not combustible, but they're not as combustible as pure gasoline is. A lot of people don't understand that it's not really the gasoline that erupts, and a little science for it, but it's the fumes that erupt. Gasoline. So exactly. There has been times, now I'm not going to try this experiment, but it has been scientifically proven, you could throw a match into a gasoline can and the gas actually put the match out if it doesn't ignite before you do it.
Airplane fuels like that too.
I'm not going to try that experiment though.
Yeah, you do that. You send us the video, and we'll watch.
And I don't advise anybody else out there. Let me go ahead and put a disclaimer out there before everybody says, "Well, Joe said on here." No, I am
professional
not.
Driver, closed course, do not attempt.
I am not advocating for anybody to go out and try that. I have heard, though, scientifically that it's proven it. And so forth and so on, that it's not written. And that's why they say an empty gas can still can be a dangerous thing. It's really the fumes and whatnot and so forth. So,
well, maybe you got to vent your gas can too, you know, because if those fumes don't get out, you could have a whole different problem on your hands. You could have a bomb out there in your shed.
Everybody's like, "Hey, look, I thought this was racing," and we're talking about. Basically, what we're talking about it is because unfortunately, it happens in racing, and that's what pretty much happened with Lennox. He was just there, you know, victim, just wrong place, wrong time. And a freak accident that could happen. I mean, it's almost like and this happens too. Is obviously you could be in the grandstand and
right.
happen in NASCAR, cars go flying up, hit the fence, parts go flying out and hit you. It can happen. It's just freak things that can happen at a racetrack.
Like getting hit by lightning or something.
Yeah, getting by lightning. You know, I mean, who knows? They're on the dirt and whatnot.
Chances are probably higher to get hit by lightning than to be involved in a fire like young Lennox was.
And you know what? And I hated on Lennox part there. You know, I know it's very, very, very unfortunate. You know, like I say, just the wrong place. And there's a young kid out there just doing something he loves to do, watching some dirt track racing, and then having pouring the gas too, because to know that, because even though you couldn't have probably avoided it, and it was a freak accident, it still follows to your mind of what could I have done to avoid it, and to know that that little boy got hurt. I mean, it's just something that's awful accident. But hey, good news is he's okay, he's alive, he's well, he's getting through it, he's getting better, and he's better. Hope he's been able to catch a lot of the racing here. As guess what? We're gridding them up here for our Pro Late models here tonight. Epsilon Sprint Wraps Triple Crown Challenge. Doug, it's going to be a good one.
Chris Sebeski and Jeffrey Barker were 1 and 2 on the first night of qualifying. They will start in the front row. Steven Goldner, we've seen him win a lot of races. Michael Redding was fastest in practice. He will start 4th. Stephen Shaw Jr. and Kyle Parker will occupy row number 3. We just saw Kyle have a good run in the last race. GJ Boydale and Kyle Mooney will be in row number 4. Stephen Gregory, Chase Hess in the row number 5. Nicholas Vickery, Aiden Young in row 6. Jack Clevenger, John Hine, row 7th. Josh Gerlach, Trent Verstraeten in row 8. These are day 2 qualifiers, by the way. Daniel Blau, Andrew Smith in row number 9. Lance Ripka and Steven Spees, who just won the race. He's going to have his hands full. He'll start 20th here. Guys who qualified last night are in positions 21 through 26. Preston Cranmer, Wayne Miller, Trent Brenneman, Robert Satterfield, Mike Schultz, and Lane Snook, who is hoping his luck is a little better this time around, as he had a tough one out there in the first one tonight.
Yes, it did. So here we go, getting set here to go green flag here tonight for these guys here for the Pro Late models. A very, very good run here tonight. So here we go. Appreciate everybody tuning in here. Like I say, Chris Sebeski, is that right?
Sebeski, yep, Sebeski.
Right.
He's in the 21.
Here's the thing. Yeah, here's the thing here. Remember the street stocks, it was very, very important to qualify and be out front. Not so much with these cars. I think you're going to see somebody that could come from 5th, 8th place on back and come through the field here and win this thing. It's all going to be a matter of, again, on green flag run, because we've heard guys say that. They got to get into a groove and a rhythm here.
That's true. And of course, the big thing here is obviously the cars are faster, and it's a lot different than it was during the qualifying nights because they had the 15 minutes of practice and then they go right to racing. No heats, no B mains. So I'd imagine they're doing a little bit different things with the setups tonight as well, especially gearing.
Here we go, getting set, pace trucks in, going to green flag racing here, race number 2 of the night, the Pro Late models here for the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Triple Crown Challenge, and we're off. Chris gets a good jump. They're 3 wide behind them though, man, taking some slide jobs.
Goldner down on the inside of Barker. Barker started on the outside. Goldner, he knows he's got to poke his nose in there and prevent Barker from getting down. Coming down there with him, I think that's Steve Shaw Jr. who's up there as well, but lap number 1 leader will be Chris Sebeski.
And you got Stephen Goldner right there. Like I said, you're going to see a little bit more challenging. Cars low, cars high. He's up there in the top side cushion. Chris is down low. Here comes Stephen trying to see what he can dig on. Jeffrey Barker and company behind him, Steve Shaw Jr. there. These cars are a lot lighter, a lot more power. Going to be able to throw them in there in these curves a lot better.
A lot more sophisticated suspension. So as the guys always tell me, more things to adjust, more ways to adjust yourself out of the race too. I'm watching the 30 of Michael Redding as he is up on the high side right behind Jeffrey Barker as the top 5 are trying to get single file. And you can see he's running even higher than Barker and higher than Sebeski, who are running 1 and 4.
The biggest thing is old Michael Redding loves that high lane. He loves getting up there. The problem sometimes he has to resort to try different lanes. Yellow flags out. Looks like Stephen Gregory in the back here. Let's go back on our A&J Custom Creations replay here and check out what's happening. You can see a big mess of cars back here. Looks like a I-95, 85 traffic jam going on there. Stephen down low there. Oh, excuse me, he's up high. Oh, just got tagged. and then just got shot up into the wall. And the next thing you know, you got several of the cars falling over, always like saying like dead turtles. Wow, it's a pile up.
And Gregory was in trouble right before that anyway. He had fallen from 9th. He started 9th, and he was way back about 16th, 17th when that happened. So either didn't fire well off the initial green, or maybe just chose the wrong setup here tonight. But a tough night for him, just got a little tougher.
Oh, yeah. What's up, David, out there? And Hayden, how you doing? And David O'Neill says, that's Doug Elkins from New York. Yes, it is Doug.
Yes, it is. You know, I get around.
Yeah. You know a David O'Neill?
Not off the top of my head. I wonder if he goes to the YouTube page, or he might be on one of the teams up here too. So
he knows you.
We got in about 40 races this
Jeffrey,
year.
How you doing?
So,
okay.
So we had some fun.
That's right. I get a few celebrities up here every once in a while in the booth with me. You know, it's got to make me look good.
Hey, I'm just happy to be here. You know, I didn't find this until 3 months ago. A friend of mine built an iRacing computer for my daughter. We were just playing around with it, and I had no idea that this stuff was this serious and this hard to do. So
well, you know, and the big news, Doug, I don't know if you just read or heard or not. You know, the big news, you know, Dale Earnhardt Jr. has been a part of iRacing since the beginning. You know, well, way back in 2010, 09. But now he's one of the executive directors.
I like that.
iRacing officially signed him on to help with some of the tracks. Now he was the #1 guy who got North Wilkesboro cleaned up. Got a whole group with his own money, got it cleaned up, and got that thing scanned through iRacing and got it. That was amazing that he's done. We'll see what happens with some other tracks here as we're getting set to go back. Green flag, they're going to go double file with these. Like to see if old Steven Goldner and Chris up front. Can Chris hold him off? Green flag flies Chris down low. It's a good jump on him.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Rockingham just to finish that thought. But a good start there for Sebeski. And I like the line that Goldner ran through there, going up high and chopping down low, trying to stay with him. And I think he did a pretty good job, as he looks like he might be ready to, he caught the inside berm that time in 4.
Yeah, he did. I'm watching this awesome battle going on around about 5th, 6th place spot. There's 3 wide back there, and they got together.
Michael
I was
Redding
fixing to say I was going to hold on to it. We're watching it live here, folks, man. There's just no way. I mean, that's just cars everywhere. Lamp Ritzka's involved, and now with Jack Clevers. We saw that one, and that was around about that 5th, 6th place spot. Caution's out, but you just, like I was saying earlier, nowhere to go. Once you have one car starting to spin, it's not a self-cleaning style track like it is in the oval style. These cars pretty much just stay right there in the middle of the track, and then these cars are almost like ramps. I mean, you get up underneath one, it kind of throws them in the air, and there's not a lot you can do from there.
Yeah, they're so aerodynamic, so fast. And at this track, especially where that wreck happened, just past the start-finish line, once you're on the gas coming out of 4, there's not a heck of a lot you can do to avoid it there. But Michael Redding was 5th. He was involved in that, and a whole bunch of folks behind him, Joe.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I wonder what you were doing there.
Well, I'm chuckling in one of the comments out here. You know, I see the comments too, and that's one of the advantages we have. And I know, Doug, you've been in the real world of announcing for a long, long time. One of the advantages we have here on the virtual side is I can interact with the crowd as opposed to announcers on TVs and stuff. They can't do that, so I get to talk to them and all. As Dove O'Neill says, we are friends on Facebook. My uncle raced at the Brewertown Speedway. I was there when he got his 4-cylinder win. Okay, cool deal.
Yep.
Well,
yeah, I do remember that.
Hey, what I was chuckling
one win I got. One win. Yeah, I got one feature win.
What I was chuckling at is Jeffrey out here said, this PS4. Now, I just had to chuckle a bit because if I was to even mention the fact that, sure, iRacing is on the console, which with the next generation consoles and all, just not to get off subject or anything, but
it is going to be on consoles. I didn't know that.
No, it's not. But they
not
could.
Even PlayStation 5.
It could, with as powerful as they are. It could be, is what I'm saying. But no, it's not going to be. But no, this is all PC. Go to iRacing.com. I always say it's the realest thing you can do without spending millions of dollars to go real racing. And which then again, you can spend an astronomical amount of money on some sim equipment. Check it out. We're getting set to go back. Green flag here.
But you don't need it.
You don't need it. No, you don't. But Chris Sebeski out front. Green flag flies. We're back racing.
And I noticed that time that Shaw Goldner didn't waste any time, went right to the bottom that time. I don't know if it worked for him. I think it just cost him second spot. It sure did, as Shaw was able to sneak by him.
Yeah, Steve Shaw was able to get up there in that top side groove. Now we're going to see what's going to happen. He drops down low. You got Steven and Steven right there, 2 and 3. Jeffrey Barker, Mike Redding. They're going to go side by side, door to door. You can beat and bang a little bit on these cars with the sprint style cars coming up a little bit later. You can't, but that car way down there on the bottom, it looks like a slower lap car under caution. Trent.
Yeah. Something must have happened at the
V.
back.
Yep, Trent V.
Trent Verstraete was running 15th.
Go back here on the A&J Custom Creations replay here. Check out what happened. He's up there. He's down there down low. And he's up there in that 88 machine, the black and green. Probably kind of by himself, kind of lonely, and kind of feeling he either got tagged from the back or caught up into something, or that thing got into the wall one. Got to watch this replay as you see it sliding. Oh, yeah, he just got right there, had to check up, and then the car behind him, nothing doing. Actually, looks like another car. Everybody had to check up for, looks like the 16. For who that is. Who that was there that actually spun in the back of it, but the way.
Was it Mike Schultz?
Unfortunate.
No. Okay.
Up,
It looked
Terry,
like it was
how you
going to
doing,
be okay there for a second. So,
He did. Looked like it's
yeah, and I
going
remember the O'Neill family very, very prominent at Brewerton Speedway, too.
Okay.
The dad won a lot of races. So, if I remember correctly, they always had a Mickey Mouse on the side of the car. This is the guy I'm thinking of. I'm not 100% sure. So.
Well, he's on your friends list. Don't get on Facebook often.
I do. But
Okay.
I've got more than a
That
few
just
on
tells
there.
me one or two things there, David. Is obviously I do have a celebrity in the booth with me, and he's so famous that he's probably got thousands of friends on his Facebook,
Yeah,
and he just don't even know who he's got. Or, the other alternative is David. Unfortunately, he just forgot.
His head's too big, you know. That's what it is.
So.
I would say I have enough trouble keeping all the drivers straight.
Oh,
Because
man.
here in Central New York, there are literally probably close to 1,500 drivers that drive different stuff here in New York State. So I have enough trouble keeping them straight, but no problems keeping things straight here tonight.
Yep.
I like this. The iRacing has become my new fun thing. Stephen Shaw's come from 5th to 2nd. Goldner got up as high as 2nd. He's now back in 3rd. And Michael Redding survived that deal and was somehow able to keep his number 4 spot. Barker's gone 2nd to 5th. So big mover. Robert Satterfield, 24th to 11th.
And right now, Chris, he drops the hammer there as the green flag flies. Down low comes Stephen Goldner, though. He's trying that low line to see if he can't put a slide job move on Shaw, but Shaw right now is able to hold him off. He's going to go way up there on the top of the cushion.
Way up there. I wonder if that's going to work. Down low is Stephen Goldner, and I don't think it did work. I think Goldner was actually scored in 2nd that lap, and yes, he was. So things changing here. We got to wonder if Shaw's going to try to get back to the bottom, or maybe, like we heard from some of the other guys in the other race, he just needs a lap or two to get some rhythm going.
Well, Chris right now is loving what he's seeing in his rear view there. Both of the Stevens side by side, definitely getting it done. Boy, I tell you what, though, you got to go back here to Kyle Parker, Aiden Young, and them. They're throwing some haymakers on each other. Slide job city happening as everybody's there. Caution flag out. That might be Wayne Miller. Back here
Robert
on the
Satterfield grabbed a couple more spots. I'd keep your eyes on him, 24th to 9th in 10 laps. That's more than a car lap.
What's happening? I'm seeing a lot of on these cautions and it's not so much the guy, that gets involved in the caution. What it is a lot of checking up going on, and that happens when you have a lot of side by side racing. And again, just know where to go, very fast paced. Guy just wrong place, wrong time, and see what happens here. And sure who that was. It wasn't Wayne Miller. Sure, we just saw the car go flying around. G.J. Boydell? Yep, that's who it was. G.J. Boydell. Unfortunately, the Coke can went flying.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was red. Yep, he's got the Coca-Cola bear on there, right? So, but I got to tell you, look at the job everybody did to miss him back there.
Yes,
there were a lot of guys that could have been 4, 5, 6, 7 cars involved in that. So, like I always said, anybody can drive and turn laps, but a lot of times it's missing wrecks and what you do when you are out of shape that shows how good you really are.
I get a chuckle again over what David said about the 4-cylinder thing there. I saw a meme. It said, girl goes, 4. Guy goes, well, says 4. Is that bad? Guy goes, well, that depends. Tires?
Yeah.
No. Cylinders? Yes.
Well, as long as it's only on one side of the motor, I drove a championship car, the real story would have been if I hadn't won a race, but it was basically a rally car, Joe. It was basically a rally car, an old Saab 900. And we are going green here. Yeah, I was wondering if they were going to at some point, because we're only 10 laps in. We've had a few cautions the last few laps, and look at everybody jumping right to the bottom. Both Sebeski and Goldner actually got their right side tires up on the inside berm. Didn't mess them up, but look at this. I think we've got a race for the lead.
We do got a race now. Even with the single file line right there, it still does benefit Chris to a point, but after a while, if it goes green, Steven will be able to get that groove and catch up to him. Now he doesn't have to worry about a guy being on his inside or outside there. He can kind of do his own line and maybe see if he size up the leader there. Just see old Michael Reddy, boy. He still loves that cushion there. Look at him riding a wall up there at the top side.
Well, like I've said all week long, you see everybody else down low and you can't catch them. Well, then guess what? You better do something different. Although I think, nice slider there by Kyle Mooney as he is trying Redding for position number 4.
Yeah, Redding's going to try that high lane. If he keeps going up there any further, he's going to be out there in the parking lot trying to run this track up front. Stephen Goldner's run down the leader. He's on the inside. They'll go door to door, puts a slide job move on him for the lead. We got a new leader. Well, never mind. Here comes Chris. He says, not today.
Well, a little edge for Goldner that time down the backstretch. And Stephen Shaw is watching what Stephen Goldner's doing. He's saying, I'm going to do the same thing. We've got ourselves a new leader.
Yeah, he did. Put the slide job on him right there. Looks like the low line's coming in. As you see, Chris now is falling up to the top. Steve Shaw Jr. is down low and is going to battle him now for second. Michael Redding still hanging up top. Kyle Mooney right there on the bottom side with Jeffrey Barker. Everybody's going down low. Maybe that top side's not as dominant as it was earlier.
Well, the thing I'm wondering too is, we saw Sebeski, do so well on the bottom. I'm kind of wondering why he went up there in the first place. To be quite, of course, just because there he goes right back to the bottom. But just because you want the car to run the bottom doesn't mean it wants to. So, but he went right back down there after trying the outside for a few. Yeah,
sometimes you got to change the line. Now he's back up top. Maybe he just does not feel very comfortable down low. He does get a good run bite off the turn.
Yes.
And he's able to stay there with Stephen Goldner. The problem is going into the middle of the turn. He's not getting that run that you can going down on the bottom. So now he's trying to adjust his line and looks through 1 and 2 down low, 3 and 4 he's up high. So that's usually kind of a trait of how he's got that car set up or how he feels the track is right now.
Yeah, I can see what he's doing on the exits there. He's getting a real good run. And if you've looked at the overhead views, a little contact from behind, and Sebeski goes around.
Wow, and we were on board with him there for a second, so let's go watch it one more time here and see. He's down low. I was wondering that thing shouldn't have been that sideways when we were right inside with him there. So a little bit of contact. Watching this replay right now, you see the 096 down on the bottom side of him. He's up
That's
top.
Stephen Shaw.
And
now he's
kind of by himself.
Here, I think.
He got on the curb. The curb upset the car, kind of got it a little bit out of shape. And then, again, just one of those products of nowhere to go with the car behind him. That just the closing rate is so fast.
And it wasn't much contact, very little at all. I've always said if you could, when these cars are all loaded up on that right rear and turning sideways, if you could just give it a little push on that left rear quarter panel, even a little one finger push would be enough to send that things around there. They're that close to the edge, and as you can see, all it took was a little bitty tap from Stephen Shaw, and that was not intentional. Did not look intentional to me. I think Sebeski, like you said,
so quick.
A curb slowed him down just enough where the contact happened. But what a tough break for him to start up front, lead the first 14 laps. Now he's all the way to the back.
Yeah, and the closing rate on
that's
short
racing.
tracks. That's just racing. Yeah, wrong
That's
place,
racing.
wrong time.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate everybody tuning in out there. Like what you see, those likes and shares there live here on the GForceTV on YouTube, OSR Network on the Facebook. And we're here, race number 2 of the night. This is the championship races here for the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Triple Crown Challenge charity event all week long, last week and last night. We had the qualifiers last week, last chance qualifiers last night, tonight's championship. Steven Spees pulled it off in the street stocks earlier. Right now we got the late models. After this, we've got the 360 wing sprints. Don't go anywhere. in between the time while we are setting up the races, and we go back green, so we setting up the races, it'll be the Pit Stop podcast there, so you don't want to miss that. But out front, Stephen Goldner gets another good jump.
Yes, he did. Real good jump, as a matter of fact, as he leads. Took over the lead on lap number 15. Watch that battle for second now. Redding still up high in the number 30, and Stephen Shaw down on the bottom.
And Kyle Mooney right there down low in the fourth place, trying to see what he can do. If he can get any bite down there, he's not been able to do it so far. He can get a drive going into the turn, like I say, through the middle, but coming off, just not there on the low line. You see Michael Redding getting that high lane going up there on the cushion, but then it just sails there. But hey, it's heating up front.
Whoa.
Steve Shaw Jr., Stephen Goldner makes contact. Now that's going to help Michael Redding and company.
Yeah, because Goldner got that car way down low that time. Shaw was actually credited with leading lap number 21. So we've got ourselves quite a battle, as now Redding on the outside of Goldner as well.
Michael Redding sitting here going, but he's tearing the fence down right there, but he's still able to hold on to it. Boy, just don't lift, tear it all down. It doesn't matter. Right there, you can see him utilizing that top side cushion. He says he can feel it. He wants this win coming off of that rookie to run off of the turn.
Then he is on the outside. That's the leader you see right in front of him. The guy you can't see is down low. And now you can. There's Stephen Goldner, as he is still committed to that very bottom groove. Michael Redding showing off his guns in the picture as he's on the outside. See, he's strong. He can run out there.
Oh,
Joey,
yes, he is. He is definitely strong. Got a strong car, strong mind, strong arms right now, and definitely looking strong on the track. He's up top. It's just that car will not bite going in and down low. Stephen Shaw's been able to hold on to it. 3 wide out of the turn. I'm going to tell you what, they're drag racing down the line. Boy, that right there is just an awesome shot. Look at this race. That's what he needed.
Shaw threw the thing sideways, 3 wide for the lead now as they head into 3.
Oh, contact.
And Shaw and Redding go around. Goldner will keep the lead. Redding keeps going, and the yellow is out.
Wow, I cannot believe it. I don't know how the yellow came out, because Michael Redding was able to hang on to that thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he was able to manhandle that car, keep it straight. I mean, what a run. Those guys were 3 wide. If you do not think that these guys don't want to win, believe me, just watch. Now, it looks like before that caution came out, Michael Redding's going to get some of his positions back.
And I wonder if this is a deal where if you're involved in the yellow, do you go all the way to the back? Do you fall in? Different series, different tracks, do all kinds of different things there. I'm not exactly sure what the iRacing policy is.
Maybe what iRacing, obviously what the admins do here at GeForce, that part I don't get into. It looks like, though.
Looks like he's going back.
Going to have to go back. Again, I'm not sure. The rule side, I'll let them deal with all that. Now, again, in iRacing, sometimes what that might happen in iRacing is if the caution comes out and if you don't spin out or anything like that, and like what he did, and he was able to keep going, it would usually give his position back. Unfortunately here, I'm going to go out on a limb, say that this might be an admin call, that is an EOL's involved. He'll go back to the end of the longest line. And unfortunately, I'm going to say that's pretty much going to do it for him tonight, because we've not seen anybody come through the field like that. Even in the pro lates, and even as fast as he is, he just wouldn't have enough time with 6 laps to go, obviously 7 laps to go, but it's just not going to happen. Just unfortunate right there, because
that is. And Robert Satterfield is running 7th. He's picked up 17 spots from 24th, but it's taken him 24 laps to get there.
I know we're going green, and real quick, I would really love clarification on why he is way back in the back like he is, because it does not look like he caused the accident. He was just involved in it.
Was he the reason for the yellow? I've also heard race officials use that phrase
Could
before.
be. So who knows? Either way, maybe we'll get clarification after the race. But either way, it's just an unfortunate turn of events right there. But Steve Shaw Jr. and Stephen Goldner up front. Remember, those two were just beating and banging off of each other. Time's winding out here for the pro late models. Who's going to put it in victory lane here?
Kyle Mooney, let's not forget to talk about him. His 24 running back there in 4th. Kyle Parker's been having a really good day so far. He's fourth. And a very quiet fifth place for Jeffrey Barker. Started in fifth, and then as I say that, he's moved up to fourth, got by the inside of Kyle Parker, but fell back early, but has just been kind of lurking right now. And as they come around this time with 3 to go, if something were to happen to the leaders, both Mooney, Barker, and Parker could maybe play a part in this.
It could be right there. You see Jeffrey Barker hanging on to fourth place. He's closing in, but up front again, Stephen Goldner's right there on the back door of the man, Stephen Shaw Jr. out front. Caution's out. No, I believe it might be Josh Gerlach. So what's Sam? But let's go back on the replay. Or
he was
replay
15th.
Here and see what happens. Yeah, let's see. Number. It shows 71 on the side of it, but it's number 8 machine either way. But sometimes it does that in iRacing. Not 100% sure why. Let's see.
Came up a little bit there. No problem. Oh, there it is.
Got caught from behind. And it again looks like one of those had to check up, where to go type deals. When you're so fast on a track like this, and you got so much momentum going on. One little checkup, and again, everybody has different braking points. You can get up on those inside curbs. Sometimes it'll slow the car up, get a little upset. You have to lift just a little bit. Don't take much here. You're already out of control. And next thing you know, you're going sideways.
And you notice that 21 that ended up running through there, that was Sebeski. He went to the back a couple of cautions ago, and he's already back up to 13th. So he's hoping to salvage top 10 here out of this one tonight, possibly. But this is far from over.
Yeah, closing laps here. 3 to go, folks, for the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Triple Crown Challenge Pro Late models here. And the reason we call it Triple Crowns because of Street Stock Pro Late and 360 wing sprints, all 3 divisions. We'll be running tonight championship races here all week long. Last week we had the qualifiers, last chance qualifiers last night. Let go green here. Steven Spees pulled it off in the street stocks. Is Stephen Goldner going to be able to hold on, or excuse me, Stephen Shaw Jr. going to be able to hold on out front? Goldner going to be able to pull it off here to the late lap.
And both of them have been pretty much using the bottom exclusively. I've seen Mooney go up to the middle a few times. Barker's been down low, and Kyle Parker's been high. So far from over, and you have to wonder, of course, the bottom's been the place to be all night. Will it be for the last 3 laps? Let's find out.
Absolutely. Green flag flies back at it again. Shaw drops the hammer. He's out front, but he's got Goldner still right there. Up underneath Goldner. Kyle Mooney says, I want to join the party. You've got Kyle Mooney around, though. And he's flipping. We're seeing that one live as it's happening. Mooney's all over the place. You got Lance Rip come back
Goldner
there.
Says, no. You know, he had the run he wanted. You saw he planned what he was doing there. He went right up top as soon as the green flag waved. And we were talking earlier about the runs he was getting out of turn 2. He did exactly what he wanted to that time. And now you have to wonder, did he show his hand early? Is he going to be able to do that again? Wow.
Now, there should be a 1-lap shootout.
Showing 29 here, so that would be 2.
2. So it's almost like a green-white checker.
Yes, green, then white, then checker.
iRacing will say they took the white flag, but they didn't take the white flag. The caution came out right before they took the white flag. Now, if they would have got to the white flag and the caution came out, well, it wouldn't have came out afterwards. And they would have had that wreck. Wouldn't have mattered. They, like I've always said, they kill each other on the track. So, eventually we're going to have almost a green-white checkered because the laps do not count here. And, wow. Hang on to it.
And look who snuck up in the third now. You know that? Jeffrey Barker is. Yeah. Again, quietly, he picked up 2 spots on these last couple of restarts.
The question now is, though, if you're Stephen Goldner, you're only going to have pretty much 1 shot
2
at
chances.
This. What do? I mean, you don't want to move him, which is getting close to the point of, well, the bump and run, which plays a factor in dirt racing just like it does on the asphalt side. But you've tried the low line, you've tried the high line, and nothing's really worked so far. What? Just got to hope Stephen Shaw makes a mistake.
Yeah, see, I'm more worried about Steven Shaw because he now knows that Goldner can get around him by running up high on that line on a turn 2 off the restart. Shaw hasn't done that. Goldner has. So does Shaw move up to try to protect, or does he let it happen again? I guess we're going to find out now. There goes Goldner.
There's
back
the
up to the
white
top
flag
again.
out. This is the final time. He's going to have one more time. See, well, that's the joy of it here. It's not almost like a green-white checker where they do it. But white flag. He's just too far away to get it done out of the final turn, final time. Steve Shaw Jr. is going to pull it off. Stephen Goldner is going to come home second, and Jeffrey Barker is going to hang on to third. What a finish to this one. And folks, if you're wondering, just to clarify here, when it does not count caution laps and it's that close, it is not like a green-white checkered in the normal sense of where they do 2 official style laps. It's as soon as the green flag, the white flag is out, and you have one more time. Usually what would happen in an original green-white checkered is the green flag would fly, they'd go around and get the white flag, and then they'd go around for the final lap. So essentially 2 laps, but that's why you didn't see it right there. So
I always call it green-white.
Green-white. Yeah.
Green-white.
Green-white.
No space. And then space before checkered. So, because I've seen those finishes too. The green and the white wave together, and you got a half a mile before things are
and it really,
over.
like I said,
Good race.
Stephen Goldner really just pretty much a product of not enough time. He only had 1 shot there, and it's just the bottom line. He's tried everything he could all night long to get around them. Awesome run for these guys there. I mean, Stephen Shaw Jr. putting it in victory lane here tonight for the pro late models here for the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Triple Crown Challenge. Whew, I tell you, what a run.
Mm-hmm. And I have to wonder what might have happened had we not had that last yellow, because Stephen Goldner had him that time down the backstretch. It just didn't work the second time they did it. So it's going to be interesting.
All right.
One more to go, too.
What's that?
Yeah, I said one more to go, too. Yeah. So this is going to be fun.
Who we got down here so we can bring up? Let's bring up old Jeffrey Barker. Not seeing Jeffrey Barker.
Yeah, Jeffrey's not in the waiting room
yet. What we got here for the Epsilon Sprint Wraps top driver?
Yeah, I think, believe it or not, this is the first time we've gotten to talk to Mr. John Hine, at least as Epsilon Sprint Wraps fast man of the race. So I'm going to bring him on up here so you guys can talk to him.
Yeah, go ahead and get up here and word with him.
John Hine, 14th to 5th. Nice job out there.
Yeah, I had to work for it. I got nosed into the wall in the front straightaway. I actually had to go all the way to the back of the pack.
Wow.
Fast repair and drove back up there. I got aggressive with it, and I don't know how I got back up there, but I did.
What line were you using primarily as you did come back up through the field?
And I was passing them through the bottom, through the center, up top. I was just
everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's a good run. I mean, I know you're a little disappointed, obviously, but you're still, in the big scheme of things, 14th place to 5th. But it sounds even better when you tell me all that. Anything could have worked out a little better? What could have maybe had you with a shot at the win? Because it seems like you were fast enough, perhaps.
Yeah, if I wouldn't have, I don't know what happened. I haven't got back and looked at it, but whatever happened where I got hit there early on, because I went on the opening laps before the caution. The first 3 laps, I went from 14th all the way to 7th. And then once I got up there, I just got drilled into the wall. Nothing I could do. I was on the bottom and just got hit. So I think if that wouldn't have happened, my night probably would have been a little different here.
So John Hine, good run still at 5th place. He is our top Epsilon Sprint Wraps driver. Any thank yous outside of the good folks at Epsilon Sprint Wraps?
No, I just keep saying it's got to be the wraps. I put these things on my car. Not only they look fast, all of a sudden I was driving fast, and it seems like whatever I get in here lately, we've had pace, and those things just look sharp. So I would say anybody that wants a wrap, go out Facebook, like Epsilon Sprint Wraps, contact them, say, hey, we want a wrap like that. And I'd like to thank Brenna at the cruise shop for everything she does. And I'll tell you, the COVID's almost over. You can plan to go anywhere in the world you want, probably next summer. And
that's right.
And go visit her at cruiseshopfw.com. And lastly, anybody out there that's listening, Gambler, we've put a Facebook page together. And if you would, go out there and like Gambler Motorsports on Facebook. That'd be, I'd really appreciate it. And with that, I just thank you guys for the broadcast, and Roger and Preston for putting this whole event on, and want to send well wishes to Lennox, and hope his road to recovery is a quick one.
Couldn't have said it any better. Nice job, John.
Thank you.
And thanks to Weatherby Photography for their help here in Victory Lane.
All right, bring up third place man. What's that?
I don't get to talk to him too much. I called it a quiet run for you, Jeffrey. Fell back as far as 5th, ended up getting back up to 3rd. What was going on first in the early laps, Jeffrey?
I just wasn't ready. I wasn't warmed up yet. Just didn't feel it quite till about halfway.
So what changed and what did you do? What were you doing better after halfway?
I started thinking more about driving the car and less about, life.
Not easy to do these days, is it, Jeff?
Nope.
So how do you do that? How do you pull your focus and put the blinders on and concentrate more on what's out in front of you instead of all the distractions?
I don't know. You just got to focus. I got to say hats off to Kyle Moonen. I don't know if I spun him or if I just finished him off, but it looked like he had 3rd. And we got into each other a little bit there towards the end, and I really feel bad about that.
Did you have a shot there, did you think, with a couple to go, or no?
I thought I had 2nd. I thought if the flagman was a little bit farther down the straightaway, I think I'd have had 2nd. So yeah, I had a shot at least 2nd.
Well, we'll talk to Knoxville about moving that starting lineup a little bit. We'll see what they say, right, Jeff? Any thank yous tonight?
Yeah, just thanks to Roger and Preston for putting this thing on, and everybody who put in for it, and just the support we've had. It's been great.
Nice job, Jeffrey. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Good run for Jeffrey. 3rd place here tonight.
Absolutely, man. 3rd place man there, putting in a good run tonight. Well, this guy here, Stephen Goldner, he gave it everything he had. 2nd place there. Let's get a word with him.
Steven, it's Doug. How we doing? I would imagine, and you tell me if you think I'm wrong on this or not, but boy, things might have been different if that last caution flag hadn't waved. What do you think?
Yeah, we got a good jump there on the outside. I might have been able to clear Shaw going in the 3, and we might have been able to pick up the win. But for me, in a late model, 2nd's not that bad.
Were you planning that move? Is that something you kind of kept under your sleeve for a little while, waiting to use it at the right time?
Kind of depending on the restart, depending on where he was going and what kind of start I got, and a couple other factors. But it would have worked out good if we didn't have that last caution, but that's the way it goes.
Yeah, because I saw you. I mean, you kind of knew Steven wasn't going to leave the bottom, and I really don't blame him. So really, that was about the only shot you had. Now, what changed when you tried it on the final restart? Because I noticed it didn't work as well that time.
I just didn't really get a good restart. I wasn't able to keep up to his back bumper there on the start. He pulled away to maybe a car and a half away from me, and I just couldn't get the run I needed.
And then you went from trying to win to try to hold on a 2nd, basically, right, Steven?
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, still good race to run 2nd.
Yeah.
Don't get into these cars too often, so to run 2nd against Shaw and a couple of the other these good guys in this series is good for me.
Are we going to see you in the next race?
Oh yeah, I'll be there.
Where are you starting?
12th or 13th.
Okay. Well, is this the one where you went C to B? Was that what got you to that position? Was that the race?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Well, maybe he could do it again. So if anybody can come from back outside the top 10, it's Steven Goldner. Any thank yous before I let you go?
Yeah, I got to thank all the Vanderbilt guys. I mean, they're spotting me there and helping me through the traffic and helping me with lines and stuff. And I got to thank Vanderbilt Racing, Wegman Bros, Z-Speed Design, and Bio.com, and all the other guys for sure.
Good to talk to you, man. You take care, and maybe we'll talk to you again next race.
Thanks a lot. I hope so.
Steven Goldner, 2nd place here tonight.
Absolutely, 2nd place man right there. Well, this guy, though, he held off the hard charge there. Steve Shaw, we're up here at the Weatherby Victory Lane here tonight for the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Triple Crown Challenge for the Pro Late Models. You pulled off the victory, but I gotta ask, just talk there with Steven Goldner, that one of the last cautions there, a little worried when you saw him on your outside?
Yeah, he got a good run around the top that lap, and then I missed the bottom pretty bad and pushed up and lost all my momentum. I was really grateful for that caution to come out, save me big time.
Oh, absolutely. Well, how does it feel to be in Victory Lane after all this qualifying and tonight putting it in Victory Lane for this awesome charity event?
It's pretty good. I hope we put on a good show. I know we were running 3 wide there for a while, and I apologize to Michael. Me and Steven touched, and it shot me up into Michael. Caution came out, but it looked like we all saved it, but I don't think he went all the way around. So.
Hey, yeah, it looked like, I mean, it was awesome, and y'all guys were 3 wide up there just beating and banging, just going for the wins, and it looked good, exciting from our end. I know it's exciting from y'all's end, adrenaline rush. Well, you put it in victory lane here tonight for the late models. Are you going to be there for the 360s?
Yeah, I made it to the last qualifying spot, so I'll be starting shotgun in that. I just got to thank GForce for hosting this event for a great cause, and hopefully the donations will stop and anybody's watching the stream can go still donate. I got to thank my team over at Peerless Racing. I know they pitched in a little bit for the cause too, so hopefully it'll be tough, but I'd like to try to see you guys in the next one.
Well, I tell you what, how do you feel about the next one real quick? I mean, do you feel like you can be able to come from the back to the front?
I'll be happy if I can make top 15. There's a lot of
Well, hey, I tell you what, you got a fast enough machine, you got the talent to get it done. Again, congratulations out there, Steve Shaw.
All right, thanks a lot.
There you go. Winner here tonight, Steve Shaw Jr. put in the victory lane for the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Triple Crown Challenge Pro Late Models. Folks, don't go anywhere because we got the last and final race of the night here for this awesome event going on, the 360 Wing Sprints. I am going to pass it over here to Roger Craig, Preston Cranmer. The Pit Stop Podcast guys are going to give you some updates, what's going on. Like I said, don't go anywhere. We're going to change over to some servers, get everything ready for you.
Well, Preston, how you feeling?
Well, lucky to be alive, maybe. That was not the same graceful display that the street stocks were, if you can call it that. But I think I finished P14 again. So consistency is key, I suppose.
Difference there, I think, between that and the street stock is a lot of the cautions came from the front of the pack, and it crushed a couple of people's performance. So at one point they were running 3 wide, and I think that was the one where Redding got knocked out. But Sebeski was running, I think P2. He got knocked out, and there's somebody else. I'm trying to remember who it was. There's a third driver who was up in that running and ended up at the back of Moonen. Kyle Moonen was running up in the top 3 or 4, and just got caught up in a wreck. And so that's a tough go. So hey, do you want to know the unofficial standings right now?
100%. I was worried that you weren't using your time wisely, but it sounds like you've been working on it.
Yeah. So, Terry Landis had you handled very well for the spotter there. So I was ducking out. And so these are, of course, unofficial. But, and so what we're going to do is, so it's the lowest number is got the lead. So it's the combination of the way people finish. And so if you finish like first in all 3 races, you'll end up with like 3 points. That would win it. So if keeping that in mind, so here we go. In first place for the overall championship right now, but starting 24th is Steve Shaw Jr. So he has 5 points. Second is Steven Spies. Now Spies starts, where did I see it? Second. So he's starting second in the 360. So he's got a real good shot at this thing. And of course, the one guy that is never out of any of this, Steve Goldner, he's tied for third with John Hine. So they both have 12 combined points. So they're only like, I guess 7 positions away from the lead. And then fourth, we got Chase Hess with 17. Fifth, despite getting wrecked, Chris Sebeski with 25. And then we come down to P6, Preston Cranmer with 26. Very respectable. That's respectable, buddy, because your strong suit's coming in the next race. And then we got Wayne Miller with 28. Aiden Young with 31. Unfortunately, I can't remember, I think it was a street stock. He missed the start, and so he finished last, so that hurt him. And Jack Clevenger, he got caught up in something, so that was unfortunate. So he's in 9th, and Kyle Moonen, we just alluded to that. He must have got caught up in something, the street stocks too, because he doesn't finish 22nd normally. So he's finished 22nd, 23rd. That's not typical of a Moonen performance for sure.
So to me, it sounds, well, like you said, Shaw is starting at the back. So he's at a little bit of a disadvantage, but he's coming in with the lead, right? What did you say the point difference was between the two of them?
Well, Shaw's at 5 points, and then Spies is at 8. And then Goldner has got 12, and Hines got 12. So I'd say those are the guys that have really got the biggest shot.
Yeah, those 4 guys, I think.
Yeah, and Shaw's got something, and Shaw even said he's hoping in his interview to finish. He'd be happy with a P15. Well, he might not be happy because that might not be enough to do it. But he knows how tough this is. A tough lineup that we've got in the 360s. It's our bread and butter league, and it's going to be a tough goal coming from the back. That's for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. And so I'm going to go ahead and spill the beans a little bit early, and I'll probably come on when Joe and Doug come back. But I do want to call attention to Steven Spee's paint, normally number 55, but he agreed with me to run a special wrap this evening, and he will be running a Steve King paint job, even up to the number 88. So this is from Steve's 2006 season. We were hoping to have somebody on from the Stephen King Foundation, but unfortunately they weren't able to make it. So hopefully they'll catch it after the fact and we can get them some screenshots and stuff. But we wanted to say thank you in some kind of way for, kind of assisting us with the event, and they've been great support with us up until now.
Yeah, for sure. I can't wait to see. I've had a little bit of a glimpse, and I can't wait to see this on the track. It'll be somewhat emotional. This is the track where Steve King, unfortunately passed away. So it'll be great to see his car back out on this track again, and there's a pretty good chance he could be in victory lane. So we'll have to see on that. And what's the best combination to get that big donation there? Was it?
So the best combination, and part of the problem was because I had already had an agreement with my drivers to make the donation, the $100 donation, if one of them won the overall. So the best combination would be for an Epsilon driver to win the race and the overall championship.
So I don't want to show any bias here because we love the other guys too, but for the sake of the charity, I will be pulling for Steven Spies. But you know what? Like, the competition here is just phenomenal. This is going to be a great race. If you look at the top 10 starters, Ross Corinta on the pole with Steven Spies on the outside, Jesse Bandy and Braden Finsel, who's won some of our charity events. I think King of the Wing he won. Kyle Moonen, Jeff Fitzpatrick, Maxime Langevin, a real. I mean, he's a great racer, but he's really done well in this series. So see if he's representing Quebec, and we'll see how he does. And he's beside Aiden Young, and then we got Lane Snook and Sean Bowers in the front 10. So it's going to be good. And then if you go back, you're there. Donovan Ross, Shorty, John Short, Robert Satterfield, John Hine, who's in the running, and then Scary Terry Landis. He's a P20. So there's and even Kevin Fry's P22, and he's got his eyes on that podium. So we'll see how things turn out.
Yeah, this is no doubt this is like an all-star race except for maybe I shouldn't be in here, but it's like an all-star race for our GeForce Racing Leagues. It's pretty cool, and it's nice to see everybody kind of filter through like that. Of course, there's a handful of guys that didn't make it because we had a fantastic turnout, and we couldn't take but really about a third of the guys that registered for this. So no disrespect to anyone, and I do want to defend Brandon Schultz a little bit. Brandon Schultz was the one that won our King of the Wing, but I do know that Finsel did win one of them. I can't remember which.
When we're talking about, I was talking earlier when you were off air about all the neat community things that have happened, and that's another one we should mention is Brandon Schultz couldn't make this series, and so Lane Snook is 12 years old, probably on allowance. I mean, and Brandon stepped up and sponsored him and paid his donation. So that's very, very cool, and that's the kind of community we've got, which I think you and I are both really proud that we're a part of this.
For sure, yeah, and again, we get out and we have great competitive racing, and I think we put on a fantastic show. But at the end of the day, it matters more to know you're doing something with your time that matters. And I think this event, we've gotten tons of comments. I think out of all the events, we probably started planning this one a little bit early, but the same old thing, we got it together at the last minute. But out of everything, you look at the donations and just everybody's excitement around this event. It's definitely probably been our best.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, for sure. We've raised the bar. It's going to be hard to beat it, but for sure, with the community we've got, that's certainly something that we will be capable of in the future. So I can't wait for this race. I will be disappointed if it doesn't just be phenomenal, because it week after week these guys put on just an unbelievable show. So hoping that it's incident free and not just accidents, but there's no issues per se. So really looking forward to this race, and we got something special to start the race with. Check that P2 position, and Steven Spies will be running Steve King's car, which is very cool.
So just out of curiosity, because I don't know, can you tell me where I start?
Well, you're supposed to know all these things.
Well, I know I'm supposed to, and I'm a little more embarrassed that I'm asking on air.
Well, I think you've had so much going on, Preston. You're forgiven. So you are starting in row 7 beside Stephen Goldner. You'll be on the outside, P14.
Man, that's good company. I'll take that.
Well, absolutely. And you've got Sebeski and Clevenger in front of you. You got Bixler and Ross behind you. So, you've got your work cut out just right there. You got some great drivers all around you.
Yeah, no doubt. And for some reason, I'm much better at. Maybe I don't have to turn the wheel quite so much, but I can kind of practice and talk in these at the same time.
Well, I'm on the track right now, following Steven Spies, and that's a beautiful looking car, man. Did a great job on it, and it is so cool to see that.
Yeah, and that was the main thing. Well, there I go. I just crashed into Stephen Gold. Let me apologize. Hang on.
Preston's out apologizing right now, so he'll be back in a second.
Yeah. I'm just gonna stay off track for a few minutes. I don't want to mess anybody up. This is a big show, so.
We still got 6 minutes of practice left. So what happens here? Just so people know, normally we have the full feature stuff where we have 3 heats, a B main, a warm up, and then the feature. So this 15 minutes is allowing us, and we usually reset the track for qualifying. Tonight, what we're doing is this track will carry over, so it's well worn in. It's these top racers, they want the challenge of the greasy track. So it should be just a perfect setup for these guys. And if anybody hasn't tried racing on these things when they get slicked off, I'm telling you, it's like trying to run on a skating rink.
Yeah, and it definitely makes it a little bit racier too. When you've got guys that are, good at making setups and stuff like that, you end up just get with the freight train right straight down, nose to tail. So getting the track worn in a little bit will definitely make the track racier.
And I'm wondering if Joe and Doug are ready to come back yet or not. So I don't want to step on, but I'd like you to get your practice time in, because you need every lap you can get in here.
What's that supposed to mean, Roger?
It's just a tough competition. You need every lap. Everybody does. No.
Yeah. All right. Nice save,
buddy. No, it wasn't a slam. You need every lap you can get out here. I'm telling you, because you got your work cut out for you.
Yeah, and I'm no, I'm not going to give anything away here, but my setups are not set up to run 30 laps on a track like this. So we really got to get this thing worn in here, or otherwise I'm going to be dialing on the car at the last minute.
Yeah, it is starting to slick off pretty good. We still got 5 minutes. No, I said no. I got that wrong. We got about 7 minutes of warm up left, so that's good. That will get this track really worn in well, and it's already there's already a high line, and it'll be interesting to see if Goldner and for sure Terry Landis will be running that bottom, just like Lance Deweese does with the Kreitz car.
Yeah, it's even funnier now that he's got the pretty close to a replica paint. You go watch a race in Pennsylvania somewhere and Lance is there, and then you come out here and watch Terry race and you think they're the same person.
It certainly shows that he was pit crew for him for a number of years, because he runs that same style. And and in that, like you say, in the identical car, it's very, very cool to watch. So Kevin Fry has the fastest lap time right now. So he is serious, man. He's come from the back of the pack. But Ross Corinta is second at 15.654, followed by Robert Satterfield, Steve Shaw Jr., Chris Sabeski, Maxime Langevin. He came to race tonight, boy, I'll tell you. He's been flying all week. And then Chase Hess, Jack Clevenger, Jeff Barker, Donovan Ross, then Steve Goldner. Steve's usually up a little bit higher in those times.
Yeah, well, it could just be that, you got some guys that don't usually get as much practice time, and now they've had a week to really dial their setups in. So you're seeing them move up the order just a little bit more than they usually would because, it's really been one long week of practice, especially for the guys that got all the way to the LCQ and made it through. So that, that gives them a little bit of advantage, just like we talk about guys that make the B main sometimes have an advantage because of the extra track time. So it could be interesting where you've got some really, really fast guys coming from the back.
Yeah, and it's just looking here too. Teammate Terry Landis is just in front of you in time, so you better pick it up a notch there, buddy. And maybe I'll do more of the talking and you do more of the driving.
Well, and again, that's his setup. He typically runs less gear so he can run the bottom, and because the track's not quite worn in like we'd be used to at the start of a feature, it's not quite as slick, and so he's got some extra grip down there. And I'm set up for the top here, so I'm gonna probably have to get with Terry and get him to send me a setup.
And I'm just going through the lineup. Joe, Doug, are you guys there? No, they're still on their smoke break or what? Oh, yeah. Are you guys ready to come in? I've got to just check this lineup.
I'm ready.
And
Yeah.
see if what we've done is we have the 24 that qualified, and then we have 4 alternates that can race if somebody doesn't show up. So I need to go through the lineup and just check and see who, if everybody's here or not. And so if you could take over, Joe, that would be great.
All right,
Yeah,
sounds good.
and Joe, just before you do, I want to, I mentioned this a few minutes ago, but once pace laps roll around, make sure you pay a little bit of attention to the wrap on Steven Spee's car. He, in honor of the Steve King and the Steve King Foundation, he's running a replica of the Steve King's car from the 2006 season. So we want to do something a little special for them. So if you guys could highlight that for me, I'd appreciate it.
Still sounds good. All right, I tell you what, get set here to go racing tonight, folks. As those guys right there are going to get set. As the guys on the track right now are getting everything, settled out, seeing what they've got, what they don't have, and hopefully if they've got enough out here, get it done on the racetrack. And Doug, I tell you, what a night it's been so far for these cars and guys on the track, and what an event it's been.
It really has. Well, what a finish we had in a late model race. We just wrapped up there just a few moments ago. They're in a driver's meeting right now. That's why you're not seeing anybody out on the track. Usually they wrap that up just in time to get a couple of more laps. We wanted to make sure that we also show Steven Spee's car, like we mentioned earlier, as they have a special paint scheme on that for Steve King. Of course, the Steve King Foundation is the one behind all this that we're doing. So we'll have to see what that looks like. It's a replica of his 2006 season car, so I can't wait to see what that looks like. I like it.
Sounds good. All right, getting set here. These guys still doing a little warming up, practicing out on the track. These are the 360 wing sprints, folks. And if you've never seen any of the sprint cars, well, these things I always call them like big goat karts, and pretty much the guys are just kind of driving with 4 tires, a steering wheel, and the motor and transmission around the track.
Big old wing.
Yeah, big old wing. If they're fast, they're light, and they get around this place very, very gingerly, and it's a lot different than what we've seen earlier on with the street stock and the pro late models here. So it'll be interesting as fast-paced here tonight with these guys, and also you're going to have a little bit more room to maneuver because a lot smaller.
Yeah, they a little bit less footprint, smaller wheelbase, of course, than the late models. Probably one of the more popular race cars in the country, really, when you get down to it. I know talking to drivers who drive them, they say there are just so many manufacturers for the parts. So the parts for sprint cars tend to be less expensive. Very big, of course, the United States, Canada, and over in Australia, as a lot of the big World of Outlaw drivers will, I don't know about this year, but normally they head over December, January for some big races over there during their summer. So these are the great big ones. I mean, the 410's got a little bit more power, but the 360s is probably the most popular division of sprint car racing in the world right here.
And with that said, the two biggest things, it is funny that you bring that up, because as far as in the real world goes, sprint cars are the deal. They are probably the most popular. But when it comes to iRacing, the pro late models are probably the most popular for some reason. I don't know. You know, you hear a lot of guys, some like the sprint, some don't. I really like watching them run. But I think on here, it's the case of how they drive. They're very tough to get around the track. Now, most of the time with wing sprints on iRacing, they are open style setups. You don't normally see a lot of fixed setups. Now, not sure tonight they are fixed.
I believe they're open, but I don't know that.
I think, yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say maybe they are, because the pro late.
Let me see if I can find out. I'll be right back. Okay.
Just find out real quick with the. They probably have already told me that, you know, and I just forgot, and I apologize out there to everyone. But again, either way, if they are fixed, then that brings up the question of very tough to drive. Doug is finding out some information for him. Hope everybody's enjoying the race so far. I'm enjoying it. Last one of the night here as we're getting set here. Grid them up here tonight. Featured time, 360 wing sprints, Epsilon sprint wrap, Triple Crown challenge. Getting set here to grid them up. Doug is still trying to find out some info for us. Got Ross Corrente sitting out front here.
Oh, yes, it is. Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to make sure I got right back to you. Open setups tonight, Joe.
Okay. And I kind of had a feeling that they might have been, but I wasn't 100% sure. I might have missed it on somewhere somehow. But I tell you what, feature time here tonight. We're getting set. Last race here, 360 wing sprints.
Yes, it is. Very last race of the night for us here, and a big field of cars. Let's run through them really quickly. I want to make sure we do this before they actually pull out on the racetrack. By the way, fastest in practice was Kevin Fry at 15.621. There were only 6 drivers that ran under 16-second laps. Ross Corrente and Steven Spies will start on the front row. Steven Spies is second in the points here. What they're doing is they're adding up the finishes, the actual number. He is second with 8. Stephen Shaw is first with 5, and then you've got Goldner and John Hine tied for third at 12. Jess Bandy, Braden Frenzel, they will be in row number 2. Kyle Mooney, Jeff Fitzpatrick in row number 3. Maximum will go on the inside of row number 4 with Aiden Young, Lane Snook and Sean Bowers in row 5. Jack Clevenger, Chris Sobeski in row number 6. Stephen Goldner, Preston Kramer in row number 7. Stephen Bixler, Donovan Ross in row number 8. And you can see them there, so if you're catching up with me. John Short, Robert Satterfield in row 9. John Hine, Terry Landis, row 10. Chase Hess, Kevin Fry, they are in row number 11. And keep your eyes on Fry again, because he was fastest in the practice. Stephen Shaw Jr. with Wayne Miller in row number 12. G.J. Boydell, Jeffrey Barker, Matthew Croak, and Stephen Gregory. So 2 things happening here. We got the big race, and of course there's the overall championship as well, Joe. So a lot at stake here in this race.
And you know, we'll find out all that as we conclude here, as we're getting set to go green flag here tonight. Now the one thing about it here, it does say right now that it's 35 laps. But what we're going to have tonight here, something you don't normally see on the normal nights for 360 wing sprints or the Renegades, is they're going to do the 4-wide salute. Talked about it before. It's a salute to all the fans out there in real racing you'll see. So get set, get ready, and watch this.
World of Outlaw sprint cars were the first ones to do that. It has been adopted by a lot of other groups. I know even NASCAR was doing it there for a little while, and I say, NASCAR, get your own gig or get your own gimmick. But that's why they added the extra laps. They're going to have to, I think they're going to have to clear black flags or something like that afterwards. So it's going to take a couple more laps to get them ready. But the first time, if you guys have never been to a World of Outlaw sprint car race, the first time, Joe, that they come around like that 4 wide, it's just like, oh, that is just too cool.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I've seen many of leagues on iRacing do it here, and you definitely want to see them here. It's an awesome sight to see the cars come around, and you know, just to name one right there was on Steven Spees. Car kind of blends in a little bit, but you can see him there in that 999 machine. I'm trying to see where he's at right now.
That's the 88 that you're seeing, because that is actually
way up
the
top right there. If you can't get a closer view, right there you go. Good shot going by.
That's the pattern or the wrap, excuse me. It probably wasn't a wrap in 2006, but that what Stephen King's car looked like. Steve, of course, is the man who's his foundation is actually through all the money is going, so that's why they wanted to do that. Oh, what a cool shot, Joe! I love that. That was awesome.
I'll give you a good close-up view, full on right there, showing it and whatnot. But you can see these guys right now marching around the whole track here. 4 wide salute. It's a salute to the fans, like I said, the World of Outlaw here. As a 4x4x4 all the way back, and good run, and looks kind of cool too.
I wondered how they were going to do that, because in reality what they usually do is first and second go outside, third and fourth would go in the middle, so then fifth and sixth move out, seventh and eighth go in the middle. But what they did here is I think they took like the top 6 rows and basically had them split, and then had the next 6 rows run up through the middle. So because it could get confusing at times.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see that, right? So they'll eventually fall back. But this is our salute to all of you, all the teams, everybody, for all your help here. This is the final race of Epsilon Sprint Wrap's Triple Crown charity event. It's been wonderful. We started racing last Tuesday. This is the final race of this whole thing. We've done a good thing here. Everybody has to help out young Lennox Mobley through the Steve King Foundation. So thank you to all the teams, all the drivers, all of you who are watching, and all of us, besides myself behind the scenes. Great job all weekend by everybody.
Absolutely, and here we go. We're going to get on line back up. We're going to clear a few little things here and there. We get set to go back green flag here tonight. Final race here, 360 wing sprints for the Epsilon Sprint Wrap Triple Crown Challenge, like we're saying. Steven Spees, though, going to be up front. Ross Corrente there, along with him. Braden Fensel, Jess Bandy, Kyle Mooney, and all. We'll have to see, though. Remember early on with the street stocks there, Steven was able to pull off the win, and he had that advantage by being up front. But with the Pro late models, it definitely was almost a different subject. Just kind of ran out of time there for Goldner to pull it off with a late caution. So with these cars, I got a feeling you should be able to see somebody come through the field, you know, with them, especially with it being an open setup like they are.
Exactly, and they ran the track in, like we said, but there's still a lot of bite out there. I heard some of the guys talking about how their setups maybe weren't going to be as good early, maybe they'd be better later. Other guys were saying, I'm going to be struggling later. So that's what makes this fun here tonight. Final race of Epsilon Sprint Wraps Charity Week.
Yes, it is. Here we go, getting set to go green flag. It's 2x2 all the way back. We got 28 machines out here going to do battle. The Knoxville track here. And the home of the Sprint Car Hall of Fame. Green flag flies are racing. Final time here for Epsilon Sprint Wrap.
A nice job by everybody. They did that without the pace truck. They were talking to him on the radio to let him know when they were going. So this is going to end up being 31 laps is going to be the distance, as out front, Ross Corinta up high, Steven Spees right there. And boy, this is totally different than the late models. Everybody up high here in these early laps.
Yeah, it is. Everybody's up high. And that's what we've seen all week long with the 360 wings. They get up there in that cushion in the high lane. Not a lot of people go down low, but they're up there biting against the wall. You see them banging off the side there. Steven Spees trying to see if he can put a slide job on the inside of Ross Corrente. Not able to get it done. He bounces off the wall, though.
And down to the inside goes Jess Bandy. Looks like he will take over second. Nice slide job for him. Braden Fensel is the car right behind the 88 of Spees, and he looks like he's ready to groom up the high side this time.
Yeah, it is. Good shot right there. Going to show you what these guys are looking at out front, man. And you see them just knocking that back wheel off. A lot of times you see them and you think they're going to hit that thing and spin the cart out. Not going to happen. The reason they're doing that, too, is they're actually straightening that thing out just a little bit. And you see still Brendan Faisal right there. Brendan Faisal, excuse me. Fensel goes on the inside of Steven. He takes that spot. They make contact.
I thought he had the spot. Now he's got it. Now he's slid up into third position. So that slide job took about a lap and a half to complete at this point. Watching Jeff Fitzpatrick, he's behind Spies, starting to gain on him. Aiden Young, the 69 right there. Good battle going on for that spot as the leaders come by.
Yeah, it is. Now up front, Ross Corrente's trying to run away with this one to put it in victory lane, but you got Aiden Young, Kyle Mooney back there. Splitting sliders. Oh, Aiden got a little wiggly there coming out of the turn. It's going to give an opening up for Kyle. Here comes Chris Sabeski right there on the inside. Sean Bowers, hadn't really mentioned him much tonight. He's there in the mix too.
Yeah, a lot of good racing going on. That's position 7, 8, 9, and 10. Stephen Goldner is that 30 car that's just on the outside looking in. He's already picked up 3 spots. Big mover early on is Donovan Ross, 16th to 11th.
The biggest thing you can see with these carts is they're up there on that top side cushion very violently. The way that they slide around this track, you have got to hold them down with that short wheelbase that they have. It doesn't take much for these things to topple over or get out from under you. You got Chris, he's falling back to 10th. Aiden's there in 9th. That's a good roundabout battle because pretty much the top guys now are all single file.
Yeah, Sabeski was going down to the inside there for a while. Now Aiden Young, the 69, he's the one that's trying that 3 wide for a moment there as the 5 of Donovan Ross had to lift out of that 3 wide deal.
Yeah, 3 wide down at the bottom for the moment. Aiden Young's there, one with him, but up top you got Robert Scatterfield. In the back you got a heavy hitter names, G.J. Boydell, Stephen Shaw Jr. They're trying to come through the field, just not being able to make up ground right now as time's winding out. We got 22 to go in this one here so far. You still got Ross Corrente, the man up front. Boy, he is stretching that lead out a little bit.
Yeah, and you were just talking about Boydell in that bunch. Stephen Shaw's gone 24th to 16th. G.J. Boydell, who started right on the outside of him, he's kind of followed him through. He's up to 18th. So there are some guys making some moves. And how about Sean Bowers? We haven't talked about him much. The 03, currently in 5th. He started 10th, so he's chopped the field in half already.
Right there you go, inside shot Stephen Shaw Jr. to see what he looks like. Right now all he's seeing is a lot of little dirt pellets on his front side view, but he's trying to see if he can't put some moves on Jack Clevenger there. And G.J. Boydell, he closes in, contact made a little bit, and that just shows you how much he can. Then he rides the wall.
Cost him 3 spots, but he's still out there. So a good job right there. You seem to have a knack of picking those in-car camera shots right at the right time that we need them. You know
well,
that?
I'll tell you what, it shows you just what these drivers have to go through around this track and just how much violently that they have to move. You see G.J. Boydell right there, bounced off the wall, opens it up though for Jack Clevenger, John Short. They're 3 wide coming out of the turn.
Boy, that's a good race going on right there.
Oh.
And wow.
Clevenger's around and not going to save it. He's going to take Clevenger with him, and he's going to take Maximum along with him. Saw that one kind of live right there. They just hooked up, just kind of got together. Next thing you know, they go round.
Nice 12-lap green flag run there, though, to start this race out, as we have 16 laps here to go in this one. So Correnta, his lead was up to about 0.8 of a second, was just starting to fade, and I got to give Braden Fenzel a lot of credit. Just got by Jess Bandy right before that yellow came out, so a good run for him tonight.
Well, absolutely, and right now it's been all Ross Corrente up front. He's been the man out there. He's loved it so far. He's been able to hold off a hard charge there. Braden Fenzel behind him and company, so we'll have to see if he's going to be able to get it done here on this restart again. The biggest thing with these cars with 17 to go is, you know, we went from 24-second laps to 19-second laps, now down to 17-second laps. It's a lot faster. It's not an apples for apples here.
Oh,
and,
no.
Not like Nathan out there, 4 wide going epic. Yeah, it definitely is an epic sight there to see. For those joining late, who won the SS and late? Who won the SS? Steven Spees won the street stock. Steven...
no. Stephen Goldner? No. You had to ask, didn't you? Yes, Stephen Shaw.
Won the late models. I know it was a Steven. So my bad.
So yes.
We just interviewed him, so I should have remembered that. But either way, Steven Spees pulled it off.
Okay.
Yeah, Steven Spees pulled it off earlier in the street stocks, and an awesome finish there. It was a good one there for him. And then Steve Shaw Jr. pulling it off for the late models here tonight. So final one here with the 360 wing sprints for the Epsilon Sprint Wrap Triple Crown Challenge. Last week we had all the qualifiers there. And folks, go to GForceRL.com, check out and give you all the information about what this event's all about. Plus, you know, all the great racing that GeForce Racing has to offer. You know, we're not done just because of this charity here. You know, we're here throughout the week. I know this is Wednesday, so awesome. Here's the green flags back out. Ross Carente, he wastes no time jumping out front.
Wednesday and Thursday this week, as a matter of fact, as look at Finzel taking a peek to the inside. Jess Bandy's right there too, although Bandy clipped the wall just a little bit. Steven Spees still back there fourth. Bowers on his tail. Everybody up high with the exception of, oh geez, that's Stephen Goldner down in the bottom again.
Slide
What a
job
surprise.
on the inside. Braden
Nice move.
Finzel made the move look clean and smooth. We saw it there
That was
for the
awesome.
view of Jess Bandy. And, you know, every time these guys hit the wall right there, you see with Jess, you would think that they're going to wreck. The reason they do it is they straighten these cars out. And it actually makes them, you know, go down that front stretch. So it's not too bad. But, boy, Braden Finzel out front, not like we've seen all night long. Guys behind him not been able to do anything. And right now it looks like Ross Carente car's not doing what he wants it to do here late.
Yeah, I saw him pull out a line there for a second like he was going to go down to the extreme bottom, and there he goes. So obviously, like you said, not liking what it's doing up top, so got to go run down low and see if that works a little better.
Yeah, it is. Ross right there down low. He's going to see if it's going to do anything, but up top, Braden is hanging on to it. You see Jess Bandy right there in third, so that's heating up a little bit. Kyle Mooney's hanging on to the fifth place. Stephen Goldner's right there in fourth. Everybody's kind of single file for the moment. You go back to John Short, Sean Bowers. They got a side-by-side battle.
Yeah, and Short's come from 17th to be sitting there running in 7th as well. So nice job by him. But I was talking about Goldner just a minute ago. We wondered if he could come up. Remember, this is the guy that came C to B and finished 4th in the A. He's 4th now, and he's got 10 laps to go. So this is far from over, Joey.
Our street stock winner, Stephen Spees, back there. He's got that Stephen King great rap machine back there, the late, great Stephen King machine. Looking car, unfortunately, is falling off the pace a little bit. He's back in 9th right now, and he's trying to see what he can do to get up front. He's battling a little bit there with Sean Bowers on the inside, but still, man up front, Braden Finzel's hanging on to it, and he was able to get around Ross Carente. Ross Carente had a heck of a lead earlier. That car's just not handling the way he wants it to now late.
Yeah, we're looking at the second place runner there. You see the margin between first and second. And for Finzel, that's about as clean of a slide job as you're going to get at this point. And you can see that Carenta's trying to almost return the favor. And I think he had a pretty good corner that time, gained on him a little bit.
He did. He went down low, and he had a good move on him there. You see Braden's going to go down there and protect that low line because the last time around he went up top side on that wicked cushion, and it became very wicked into the wall there. And here comes the inside slide job. He made it stick. Ross Carente made a beautiful move, and Braden Finzel tried to react to it, couldn't get it done. The cart just kind of stuck out front again as Ross.
And that blue car you see on the bottom, Goldner now up to 3rd. So he's got time. And boy, I wonder what happened to Finzel there. I mean, once he got by, the thing just kicked out sideways on him. So let's see what he can run him down with 5 to go next time we come around. Caution
Braden
out.
was able, cautions out. Sean Bowers involved in that one. Let's see what exactly happened to him. He's upside down, sliding down the front stretch here. It's going to NJ Custom Creations replay. See what we can see. He was way back there, battled along with Stephen Spees and company back there, but they were knocking off each other's push bar back there. He's up on that top side into the wall. Got a little wiggly right there. You see things is kind of violent coming out of the turn. Again up there and just hooked the wall, and that thing just went crazy, and then back on the track, nowhere to go, and just gets knocked to one end to the other. And what I noticed right there, too, I don't know if you saw that, caught that while he was going around. Maybe we can't hear while we're riding with Braden. Look very closely if the camera angle hits it just right. It might and it might not. Going around on that top side, you actually can see it right here if it stays on this angle. See the top cushion up there right now, right about there. Look at that. That is a dangerous hump.
Yeah.
And hit wrong, that can send that car up. I noticed that, and maybe that's something these guys are now looking at going, maybe we better stay down low, that this car, that top side cushion could be getting very unstable. But Tossing them right there. So I think that's why we might start seeing some cars go down the middle to low part of the track, because I think that cushion up there is getting a little bit just unstable. I've noticed a lot of cars banging off the walls, just kind of hitting it. But I noticed that one right there just kind of looks unorthodox. So,
well, you figure all that dirt gets thrown up there. Eventually, it is going to build a little mound, and I could actually see what you were saying there.
Yeah.
Right ahead of turn number 2. If you watch the bottom of the fence, you'll notice that all of a sudden the brown goes up a little higher there. So, are they feeling that? Is that affecting them?
I don't know if I've noticed the cars definitely are getting very unstable the more they get up there in that cushion as opposed to the middle bottom lane. So I don't know if it's a visual thing that we're seeing or if it actually is affecting them. Although I do know every time they get up there, those things are violently jumping around and getting into the wall. We'll have to see right there. He kind of missed it and kind of utilized it right there. But Braden Fence was trying to run down Ross Corrente as we're back green.
Ross had a great restart that time, pulled out to about 3 car lengths right off the box. See Stephen Goldner still working that inside. He started this race 13th, so he's got time with 4 laps to go, and he's stuck to that line. He hasn't been looking at what anybody's doing around him. We'll see Corrente again and Finzel up top, as this is going to be a good one. 3 to go this time.
Yes, it is. Braden right there on the back cush bar of him. You see old Ross going to protect the inside lane, going to let the slide move there as it's going to glide back up, kind of diming the turn. But Braden is there. He is going to try to set him up. Goes to the inside here. This is a pass for the lead.
Trying to get him this time down the front stretch. It's still Corrente, but not by much. 2 more laps to go. There goes Finzel. He might have him this time, Joe. No.
Oh, I'll tell you what, he's able to hang on. Ross is. As they're going to come around here, they're going to grab the white flag. Now Braden Finzel's got his hands full with Stephen Goldner. As he falls back just a little bit, you can see the violently. White flag one more time for Ross Corrente. The battle's on for 3rd.
And Jess Bandy trying to get in the mix as well. That's the black and white car up at the top part, but Ross Corrente looking good, heading into 3 and 4. Take us home, Joe.
Well, final time here out of 3 and 4. Ross Corrente's going to get it. Braden Finzel's hanging on to 2nd, and Stephen Goldner pulls it off in 3rd here tonight with a 360 wing sprints. What a finish to this one. What a wild one. I mean, these guys had their hands full all night long, and there for a moment looks like Ross had gave up the lead to Braden, but he was able to fire back on all 8 cylinders and get it back going.
And nice job by Goldner coming up from 13th to 3rd. Chris Sabeski 12th to 6th. Let's see, the big mover was actually Kevin Fry. Remember I told you he was fastest in the early practice, 22nd to 10th. Actually, Stephen Shaw, 24th to 11th, even better. 13 spots he made up, so nice job.
Get these guys here and get a show of them, get a talk to them here. Maybe get up here and talk a little bit and who won the points here on it. Championship here at the end. And it was an awesome event that all these guys put on here tonight. Man, right there, Ross Corrente pulling it off with a 360 wing sprints here, though. What a race, what a win for him. Let's bring up the 2nd place guy, Braden Fensel here, and let's get a word with him. Actually, yeah, Braden Fensel. Actually, before we do that, we got Preston here. Preston, who's that Epsilon Sprint Wraps top driver?
Oh, you've talked to him before, and so I've got Steven Spees back here for you one last time.
Oh, okay. All right. Steven, tell you what a run tonight.
Oh, sorry, guys, we're talking in my ear here. Sprint cars with these open sets still need some work. So I, would like to finish a little bit better showing for the car and the wrap. Really happy Preston contacted me and asked me if I'd run this Steve King. So thanks to him. Hopefully the foundation and the family appreciate that. Trying to give a little respect there for him. A good night overall for everyone. I think I'm just so happy that we did this.
Oh, absolutely. I'll tell you what, your top Epsilon Sprint Wrap driver here tonight. You pulled it off. I mean, you was able to pull it off earlier on in the street stocks here. You had a good showing there. Looked a little tough, like you said, for these 360s, but coming out of here, not too bad for you there. You came home tonight in 8th. Awesome paint job out there to represent for old Stephen King, the late great one there for us. But hey, anybody you want to thank for a great night of racing?
Yeah, again, Epsilon Sprint Wraps, especially for being the title sponsor in the event, and again, Preston for asking me to run this, and while I got the mic here for a second, I just wanted to say, thank you to the foundation, and, best of luck to Lennox's family, that the money from this is going to. I was looking over the foundation's webpage and saw all the different names that they'd helped, and I noticed one in particular I wanted to mention. I believe it's Jeff Osborne. I believe it was his family was mentioned on there, and I was actually he passed away after a crash in a non-wing sprint car, and I was at that race, racing my own dirt car that night, and remember it well. So, you never know who's going to need help from these things, So just thanks to all that they do.
Oh, absolutely. And I tell you what, again, congratulations on the run tonight. Congratulations on the street stock effort there earlier on, and congratulations on this Epsilon Sprint Wraps top driver award here for the 360 wing sprints.
Thanks, and looking forward to see how the overall, Triple Crown comes out. I think I may have a shot at being one. It's going to be real close, though.
Well, there you go. Well, I tell you what, again, congratulations on that run there tonight. Well, awesome run here. Let's bring up our third place man here, Stephen Goldner. Let's get word with him there, old Doug.
Old Doug is right, Stephen. I kind of caught you when you got up to about 7th. Was that bottom line what you used the whole time to get from 13th to 3rd?
No, I was just around the top until that first caution pretty well, just trying to pick cars off. But tough starting that deep. I kind of put myself in the hole, not running that first night and starting top 10 in this race.
Still a good run, though, right? I mean, you were fast. Anything could have happened a little differently in the last 5-10 laps? Could have changed your spot at all, maybe?
Just kind of overdriving the car, trying to get some spots. Yeah, I don't know. Could have run a little bit differently and tried to be a little bit smoother, and I think we were a little bit faster, but just couldn't keep everything together to have a good race.
You talked about overdriving. I've talked to so many drivers over the years about how easy that is to do. You're gaining on somebody, so you think, I should go in a little harder, but in reality, you're gaining on them because you're not. But it's tough to tell yourself that in the moment, isn't it, Stephen?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, we went up 10 spots, and I just kind of wanted those extra 2 pretty bad and kind of missed out on it.
Still a great run. Who do you want to say thanks to, Stephen? Because it really was a fun run and fun watch tonight. Who do you want to say thanks to?
I got to thank all the Vanderbilt guys for sure. Brandon and Jesse, Moonin, Fitzy, everyone pretty well. It's been putting in time and making these setups better and making it a lot funner for us to drive for sure. And bio.com, Z-Speed Graphics, Wegman Bros, and everyone that helps out on this team.
Nice job, Stephen. Fun watching you this week.
Don't go away. Don't go away, Stephen.
Okay, don't go away, Stephen. They want you to stay. So
okay.
We got a couple more interviews to do, but hang out with us, and we'll get to you in just a moment, okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
Second place man here, Braden Fensel, who tried everything he could. He almost had the thing pulled off here tonight. Let's get a word with him, though.
Braden had the lead there briefly. Braden, for just a moment, what happened? How did you lose it, and what were you doing trying to get it back?
Yeah, I think at that point, you look down, you see there's 10 to go, and just kind of start overdriving it, to be honest with you. And
again,
Ross snuck past me, but all in all, just a few driver mistakes, and sometimes you can get away with them, and at that point, just happened at the wrong time. So it happens. It's part of racing. That's why we love it. So not too upset to finish second with this caliber of field in this great event.
What happened in that moment? Because all of a sudden you were sideways.
Yeah, I kind of got high on the cushion in 3 and 4, I believe it was. Tried the bottom 1 and 2. Just felt like I was slowing down on 1 and 2, so I figured it was time to start searching. And ran the bottom, wasn't very good. And tried the top, again in 3 and 4, and just kind of got lit and kind of got in a little bit too hot and got over the cushion and got sideways. So I think I did that in my prelim night too. But wasn't for the lead, so it cost me. But like I said, it is what it is, and we'll just we'll take it, we'll learn from it, we'll go on to the next one.
Looked like you were real close to losing that car altogether.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought that I was going around there for a sec.
Okay.
So, it was just kind of a hang on for dear life and just hope and pray we can keep this thing going. So luckily we were able to keep it going.
But you had fun. I mean, you came from 4th to 1st there, and for a while there, you marched right up the front, just like you were ready to take this win tonight. So you got to feel good about being good on the racetrack tonight.
Oh, absolutely. You know, the guys at Fenton Motorsports definitely been working hard. You got to say thanks to Jamie McCarron and Leon Carver for helping me out lately. They've definitely been a big help. So, you know, pretty cool to come out here and like I said, run second with this caliber of field. Is pretty darn cool. So, Ross is a good racer, and I'm happy for him to get this win. It's pretty cool to see him get a win in this big event.
Braden's business is B-Fins, of course. They do a lot of these wraps and stuff like that. Who do you want to say thanks to for the fine second place tonight, Braden?
Yes, sir. I got to thank Cardio's OK, Real Geese Silhouette Decoys, Hagen Landscaping and Lawn Care, FHC Concrete Designs, Alopecia Apparel, Linder Speed Equipment, Banshee Graphics, JZ iRacing Photos. And then I got to say thanks to everyone behind the scenes at GForce putting on this great event. And the Steve King Foundation. It's just really cool to have this event put on for Lennox and his whole family. So my thoughts and prayers go out to him, and hopefully that he's doing good. So hopefully, you know, this money goes, you know, we know it's going towards a good cause. So it's just awesome to see that the GForce put this on, and really proud to be a small part of it.
Nice job, Braden. Good talking to you, man.
Thank you, sir. You too.
There you go, second place man right there, Braden Fensel. He almost pulled it off, but this guy here did. We'll go to the Weatherby victory lane here. Ross Corrente, Joy in the booth. Got a copy? Ross, Joy in the booth. Got a copy?
Shows he's here.
Still starstruck.
Celebrating already. So
Ross, Joy in the booth. Got a copy? Give him a second here. See what.
Maybe we can bring him up.
Yeah, we'll bring him back here.
Yeah, bring
Try
up.
again here.
It brings.
Ross, Joy in the booth. Got a copy?
I got you now.
All right, good deal. Well, I'll tell you what. Up here in the Weatherby victory lane, you were able to pull it off for the 360 wing sprints here tonight for the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Cripple Crown Challenge. I'll get it out right. How's it feel to be able to pull that thing off?
It's actually pretty fun. It's an amazing race. Obviously, these guys over at GForce for doing this, it's amazing. Finsel gave me a run for the money at the end there, and I kind of thought I gave it away at that lap 20 restart or whatever it was when he slid me, but I don't know if he had a little oopsie, and I got the lead back and was able to hold on.
Yeah, and we saw that, and I was alone with it. You was out front dominating, and all of a sudden he came running right by you, and it was like you wasn't able to chase him down, but you was able to get right back around him. Let me know here, how was the top side cushion? Was it, because it looked like those cars were very, very unsettling up there.
It always seems to do that here at Knoxville, that there gets to be a little berm there, and then if you don't hit it right, it kind of does some funky stuff to the car. I kind of tried to stay with the slider line and just ease it in there, and it worked.
Oh, absolutely. Put you in victory lane here tonight, and you look bad fast doing it. Just able to pull it off for the 360 wing sprints. Got anybody you want to thank for this awesome win?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my teammates over at Phantom Motorsports. It's a newly formed team. Power Outdoors for sponsorship, and my partner over at Velocity Racing for kind of get that to be what it is today.
No doubt about it. I tell you what, we're capping off an awesome week here of the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Triple Crown Challenge with a 360 wing sprint victory here with Ross Corrente. Again, congratulations there, Ross.
Yes.
There we go. And I tell you what a night, what an outstanding week it has been so far. Guys, I tell you, it has been a good one. And Roger Preston here, I know you got Steven up here. It's just been an outstanding one for all three of the series there, for Steven Speed, Steve Shaw Jr., and Ross Corrente there, all pulling off victories here tonight. But what we got here for Steven?
Well, so I first want to thank everybody again for participating. This is one of the first times where we've well over eclipsed our goal as far as fundraising, and I think we're going to continue to go just off tonight, off to some wagers that were going on. But most of all, right now, I want to give a round of applause for Stephen Goldner, who is our overall champion. And my understanding was that was by a single point.
Wow.
Nice.
So, Stephen, I'll kind of just start the interview off, I suppose. I wasn't aware of what happened in the earlier race. Where did you finish in the street stocks?
I ran 10th.
I guess just kind of biding your time until you got to your strong suit then.
Yeah, I started 11th, couldn't really pass cars. I searched all over, but I just couldn't get the speed the other guys had, so I just tried to hold on to at least the top 10.
Well, you ran a great event, and put on a good show every night you're out. So we really appreciate it, and congratulations again for me and Roger and everybody that participated. I know will be glad to give you a pat on the back.
Great, thanks. It's a great league for a great cause, and hopefully everyone that donated is definitely helping out, so it should be good.
Congrats again, bud.
Thanks a lot.
I'll tell you what, right there you go. I mean, that's awesome to see. I mean, the man come home tonight third with the 360 wing sprints, pulling off the overall championship. What a night, what a week, what a way to cap it off. Met the goal and more here for Lennox. The guys here for the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Triple Crown Challenge, Stephen King Foundation funded here. It was awesome for the GeForce Racing League. Roger, Preston, I tell you what, and Doug, man, just what an outstanding event. Pleasure to be a part of it. I mean, it was fun. Y'all got any final words?
I'll agree with you 100% on that. I mean, look at all the racing we did this week. 12 separate races just to get to where we were here tonight, to have things come down to last lap like they did. And for those of you who are listening and you want to help, GForceRL.com. You can still get in some late race donations. I'm proud to be a part of this, Joe. I want to thank you for all your help, for being so great, working with me and Roger and Preston and Jeffrey for bringing me in. I've had a great time. I can't wait to see where we'll go in the future.
Yeah, and I can't thank you guys enough. The broadcasts were awesome. Your generosity was awesome, and hats off to. Now those results are. I've said they're unofficial. I don't want mud on my face, but I'm pretty sure that it was so close, and the other two were only a point behind. But we got to go back to the race the other night, the 360, where Steve Goldner was in the C main, which he was in front of me in a C main, and he, we've talked about it before. He passed 32 cars, to finish. I think he finished fourth or something.
Fourth, fourth. That's why he started where he did tonight.
Yeah, but in a C main, anything can happen with with guys like me around you, and it could have been a disaster. He wouldn't even been eligible for this thing. So, I mean, to pass 32 cars and do that was probably the the critical moment for him. So just fun. You know what? And I look at the list of guys in this finish; they're all class guys. It's just that's what's so cool about it. They're just all class act guys, and just so proud to be just a part of this thing with all these guys that make this league as great as it is. The sum of the whole is just greater. I don't know if I said that right, but you know what I mean.
Sum of the parts is greater than the whole.
There you go, buddy. Thanks.
There you go.
That works.
There you
so
go. Now
yes.
we're talking.
Yes. No, it was great. Really. Thanks, guys, for having me and inviting me into your world. We should all be proud of what we accomplished. And hopefully, and the big goal, like we said, is Lennox getting better. And hopefully we'll hear about reports of him getting better real soon.
Any final words, Preston?
No, and I'll just go back to what I said before, and Roger's just mentioned it. We've got a great community here, and that goes from our broadcasters to our drivers to we get comments on our Facebook page from people's families about how much they enjoy the racing, and it's nice to be able to go and do something good. I couldn't be prouder of what we've done, and from what I understand, I was at the back, so I don't know for sure, but the racing was fantastic, and I think that's just a staple of our league. We've gotten things really dialed in. We've got a great review committee. That can't go understated as well, because those guys were working with us all week to make sure things got reviewed when they needed to be, because it's quick turnaround times. We've got a great foundation, and I think we're just getting bigger and better all the time.
Well, with that said, I tell you what, gentlemen, we're going to leave Knoxville here. It's been an awesome week, an awesome charity for the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Triple Crown Challenge, and all the winners here tonight. From myself and everyone here, everyone, have a good night.